welcome to Boss Rush Podcast. I'm your host, the energetic, delightful Eddie V. Joining me as always is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
Our perfectionist producer and boss man himself, Mr. Corey Deering.
Perfectionist? Sure. We'll go with that. We will. Sure.
And joining us, our special guest from the Diggity Podcast. He is the brilliant Brody Folks.
What's up? I was waiting for the lushes.
I know.
And our justifiable journalist, Mr. Jeff James.
Oh my God. I'm honored, humbled, and something in between.
Yes. Here on Boss Rush Podcast, we do things differently. But how are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great, man.
Yes, and for everybody
Really
who's
full, ready to take a nap.
I know. I'm really full too.
Memorial Day, man.
We got pizza and wings today. I ate most of it.
Nice.
I had birthday cake, and I had way too much birthday cake. So
Nice.
For those who don't know, Brody and Jeff come from the Diggity Podcast. So before we get any more into the show, would you guys like to present yourself to people who don't know about the podcast or who are seeing you guys for the first time?
Oh, geez. You want me to do this, Brody? Or?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Okay, cool. Well, if you're seeing us for the first time, I apologize. But we're a weekly podcast. Discuss a melody of video game news, all platforms, just all video game news. We try to go super in depth with a lot of stuff that kind of we care about and kind of shoo away some of the smaller news bits and stuff that intrigues us definitely, and kind of change it up a bit by writing our own show notes and going on a deep dive into kind of our thoughts on video game land as it is right now in this crazy time, as well as stuff that we're pumped up to play. Everything from Paper Mario to stupid golf with your friends.
Oh gosh.
Oh, we tried that last night.
Yeah. Jesse and I played that game last night.
You can find us anywhere: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're everywhere. Hit us up, Diggity, Diggity, and we're always happy to come on and chat with you guys. It's always a blast.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
If people don't know, you can check out their introduction on Nintendo Power Block, where me and Jeff, we made a bet, and I don't know how the bet goes right now.
I forgot about that.
Because E3 got canceled, and I was just like, do our bet still goes or not? But we'll see. We'll actually see. But everybody, this is going to be a special episode. We're not doing news, not really much, no house clumming or housekeeping. You guys know where to find us and everywhere. We are doing a summer or summary, as Jesse had the pun for it, about I called it summer 2020 because even though E3 is E3 is suspended for this year, I don't feel like it's canceled. There's going to be so many game announcements throughout this whole summer. And we're all here because we're going to make predictions on what could actually be announced or revealed for the summer. We do have questions. So the way I will go around this, I think we'll do 3 predictions per system. Like if Xbox goes...
What? No, we did not plan for this. Pass. No predictions.
that was the thing. It's a prediction show.
Yeah, but look, some of us forget, and then some of us don't tell our guests because they forget, and then...
Oh, that's all right. Go for it, man.
Yeah.
We'll wing it.
Well, it's
I
gonna
don't
be,
care.
It's going to be 3 predictions for 3 predictions for Xbox, 3 predictions for Nintendo, and 3 predictions for Sony. We're going to go around and just off the top of our heads, what could possibly be announced this summer. Just throughout the whole summer, whether it's real or not. But if you could see something actually happening, it'll be very interesting to see.
I do want to preface this. We are recording this episode literally a week early. So if anything happens within the next week,
No.
Yeah, so if God of War 5 or Horizon 2 or Gear 6 are announced this week.
Or the PlayStation 5 just generally gets announced.
Yeah, if they just show it,
Jeez.
Well, and plus everybody we know, Sony announced at the time of this recording, they announced the state of play for The Last of Us 2. It's going to be an 8-minute showcase that they're going to be premiering on Wednesday. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. I don't know if any of us are going to watch it or if we're going to watch it and cover it. Sadly, I'm not going to try. I'm not watching it because even though I am buying The Last of Us 2, I don't want to see like spoilers for it or gameplay things. I kind of want to still go in that game. Feel like I know nothing. I don't know nothing about the spoilers. I just really want to go in that game fresh. Of course, Ghost of Tsushima was different because it was the first dedicated state of play, and I wanted to see how that happens. And plus, that's probably one of my most anticipated games for PS4. So we're going to go around, and we're going to actually start with Xbox. And Brody, I'm going to start with you.
I was like, he's either going to choose me or Brody.
Oh, man.
So
for that, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit. And
Hey, hello.
Also, hold on, by the way, this is also before the episode of Games with Harold and Reggie, where Phil Spencer is coming on, where he's supposedly going to talk about something important, so...
Oh boy,
it's gonna be Viva Pinata. Don't worry about it. Go for it. Bro.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. So if we guess everything right too, just remember that if they announce stuff and this comes out and you're not hearing it until after they've announced something and we got it right.
When Minecraft 2 gets announced this week.
So Brody, give us your 3.
All 3. We're going rapid fire here. Okay. Let's see. The next Forza is going to be announced. It's going to be back to motorsports rather than a horse ride. I told you I was taking low hanging fruit. Come at me, Jeff. The next one, I think that xCloud is going to get a full launch prior to the Xbox Series X coming out, and it will be added in as a function of Game Pass, whether that will be another edition like Ultimate, like it's going to be $20 now, or what it's going to be. I'm not entirely sure, but I would assume that is going to be an addition there.
I know we talked about xCloud being part of Games with Gold.
Well, I mean, with Game Pass Ultimate, service. you get Xbox Live Gold with Game Pass Ultimate. So I mean, it's.
But if you pay the $60 a year, Games with Gold.
Well,
we were talking.
I bet they're gonna add it into the Game Pass function.
Yeah, I bet it's like $5 a month, or if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you just automatically get it. That's my guess.
That'd be
my
nice.
guess. So
you get for free.
Maybe they'll add it to iOS finally, because I'm still waiting. Still waiting. Jesse's been enjoying it for years. I'm still waiting.
But what's your last?
last one? Oh man, that's tough. Let's see.
And it don't have to be first party. It could be first or third or indie. It's open.
Well,
yeah.
It's changing the rules on the fly for his predictions.
It's no longer Xbox at that point.
Dude, I hope I'm next.
It's the summer. It's E3. Anybody could announce anything from any developer, any publisher. It don't have to be first party.
Oh, I'm gonna take Jeff's because I know what he's gonna say.
I'll do it.
Is it not Night Trap 2?
They're finally going to show more of Battletoads.
Oh, dude, come on.
I bet they
gotcha.
I bet it's one of those available now things.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that they might have redid some of the stuff?
I hope so, because it looked bad.
Because I feel like a lot. Yeah, I didn't really personally care, but I know a lot of people didn't really care for that initial art style that they kind of went with.
If they restart on this, we aren't going to see it until 2030. So
yeah,
it's angled, dude.
I think a lot of people was upset because it wasn't detailed enough. It still looked like it was in pre-production. So This was just like If you look at like Battletoads and you just see something like Castle Crashers look way better than Battletoads in a sense. So they probably went back and be like, okay, we need to add some shading.
Battletoads looks like a really bad Cartoon Network show that got canceled after 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. No, I think they'll do something. I think it'll look better, but I don't think it's going to change much.
Yeah.
Because as long as this has taken already, I can't imagine they're going to start from scratch again. It seems like this is something that's been put on a back burner for so long that I don't know what's going on with it. It's not like it's complicated, super detailed graphics. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, man. Can't figure it out. Technology.
I mean,
or do they work?
I mean, that's why I wondered though. Like, I wondered because they really haven't said anything more about it. Like, they just completely fell off the face of the earth.
It's an intern project.
It's
project.
It's I think a lot of Microsoft products happens like that. When it gets like a lot of criticism, it goes dark and you just don't hear nothing. Because Crackdown 3 did the same thing. Like. There was some. I mean, there was some.
Prediction: Crackdown 4.
No, actually, you know what? I know what it is. It's they programmed all the Battletoad games into an AI, and then the AI computer created it, and that's what we got.
Enough Battletoad games. Oh god.
Well, Jesse, what is your 3 predictions from Xbox?
So. I know like this is kind of low hanging fruit a little bit too, but like I definitely do think we are going to get the Fable, like for sure. Like we're gonna going to see something from Fable, and I don't know that it's coming out anytime soon.
Oh, but no,
I don't even know if
like
that's hanging
Fable
fruit at this point in time.
Yeah,
I think that fruit is picked, and they're about to peel the banana on this one. I think it's it's headed out. It's ready to go.
Well, like the full blown Fable, or like the one where we got like one that basically everyone looked like a me,
or the one where you're riding a horse on rails with Kinect. Wow. Kinect 3.0 Fable Journey 2.
Fable
Albion connected.
I'd be completely down for a new Fable experience. And by experience I mean an actual game, not one of these sidebar projects.
Not a demo.
Okay, and then my second one is I think we get a new Fusion Frenzy.
That's a possibility.
Okay, because like this is why, like, you know, like I've like kind of sensed this whole thing with Microsoft and Nintendo having a really good relationship with each other. They've kind of like really been focusing on making games, or like, you know, doing games that are kind of for all you know, ages and stuff like that. Like they've got their, you know, their Minecrafts, and now the Minecraft dungeon to kind of, you know, bring together the people, you know, that are older and younger. It's something that both people can get something out of. And, you know, like they've got like Ori and Cuphead, and like they've got all these, you know, things that are kind of like a mixture of something that kids could enjoy, but also adults can as well. And I just could see them bringing back a Fusion Frenzy again, just, you know, to have some kind of, you know, I mean, and if, you know, if Microsoft is serious about getting more, you know, exclusive IPs and stuff back into play, and, you know, like we've already heard Phil Spencer talk about bringing old IPs back and doing them in new ways and things like that. I just think that that's one that, you know, maybe isn't as like well known as Mario Party games, but there is still a lot of people who played those, you know, played that when the original Xbox came out, me included. I mean, me and my friends used to play that all the time. So I could see them bringing that back and trying to really improve upon that and make it an actual contender for a party game. We've got things like Jackbox and all that stuff that are doing really well too now. It just would make sense, in my opinion, for them to have something like that.
I'm not sure I ever even played the full Fusion Frenzy. I'm pretty sure I just played the demo.
The demo on the Halo 1 disc.
Over and over and over.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people. That was. And that's where it started.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
And
that'd
then-
be awesome. That'd be a great one for sure.
Yeah.
And what's your
then-
third one, Jesse?
My third one is that we will get a teaser for a Cuphead 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I might have to disagree with you about that.
You disagree on a lot of things.
That's
Not your prediction,
fine,
Ed.
because this is my prediction.
Well,
Not your prediction.
Only reason why, because the DLC they want to bring out first before they announce.
I know.
it. You know,
Maybe it's
I know, but they could do the DLC and then say, and coming,
maybe
in
it's
the
a,
future.
maybe it's a God of War Ghost of Sparta thing where they tease the game with,
In
like,
the
you know how
DLC.
Ghost of Sparta on PSP had God of War 3's logo on the back of the instruction manual, and that's how they announced God of War 3. I mean, I know we don't get cool instruction manuals anymore, but like maybe if you beat the DLC, you get a trailer for Cuphead 2. Huh? That'd be awesome.
but,
I don't think Cuphead 2 is going to be exclusive to Xbox anymore.
No, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
either.
Not a chance. I bet they have maybe a timed exclusive.
I mean, they
type
have
of
that
thing.
Netflix money now. They have that Switch
Yeah.
money.
They
They're
got that Tesla money now too, dude. They're in Tesla.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
The
it's
worst
just
game to play while driving.
I know, right?
it's just
I
Yeah.
hate playing that game sitting sometimes.
I mean,
Yeah.
so frustrating.
I wonder, are they big enough to do their DLC and Cuphead 2 at the same time,
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
or just
Well,
say
and
that, or just say that it's in development? Because I think
Well,
it
yeah,
will wait till
that's
next
the
year.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think like ultimately Microsoft's gonna want to say, hey, these are why you need to look forward to our future of being on our console. They don't have to show like gameplay or if they do the Metroid Prime thing,
Just a
like
logo.
where it's just like a real, even just the little, like they can do perfectly the little like cartoon kind of like thing where it doesn't have to have anything to do with engine or any of that stuff. It can just be like a little, cartoon thing that just kind of teases it even. Like it, like it doesn't even really have to be that long. Just a little tiny animation.
Is the DLC? Can you buy the DLC now?
Yeah,
Is it available?
it was supposed to come out a little while ago and it got pushed back. I
And
think
it
it was
got
supposed
pushed-
to come out last fall and it got pushed back. Which
To unknown
I think that
time.
was during, that might have been during the Game Awards or right before the Game Awards that all that happened. Maybe it was late fall, early winter type of thing.
That sounds right because
Yeah.
I want
I didn't know-
because I want to
yeah.
say around the Game Awards was when it was
Announced.
kind of scheduled to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering if they, after they announced it during some time, they put it up for people to pre-buy, like a pre-purchase, I should say. So I don't know if that is still available, because I think if they were going to do a Cuphead 2, I think they would take that DLC that they got now and expand it to make it Cuphead 2. If it's going to take this long.
But
doesn't make
what
much
they
money.
Could do, and what they could do is they could be taking the time to add to it to carry us into what's going to happen in the second.
the DLC is supposed to be a new story and more bosses.
I know, but that could be a story that's kind of bridging
like a
the
bridge
gap between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why I said it would be weird for them to announce the DLC and then announce 2, if they were going to do that.
Well,
Because I don't know.
I don't think they're going to announce them at the same time, right? I think
Be shortly after.
yeah. I think maybe not this year, but it's definitely next year. I bet they'll say something about Cuphead 2.
Cuphead 2, I could see next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was just saying, Jesse.
Especially if
then
they
I-
want to stay on that hand-drawn path where they're like literally hand-drawing everything, and then
It's a lot of work.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
that
awesome though.
And
It's
the
really
It is
awesome.
so
Yeah.
cool.
And that's
Yeah,
probably
the
why it's been
animated
delayed.
series.
It's probably because they still hand draw. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that they'll probably just do something goofy like a DLC, or they'll announce it's like one of them. They'll be like, "Hey, and the animated series is not going to be on Netflix anymore. It's also going to come to like, I don't know."
If you have Game Pass, you can watch it.
Yeah, or the Xbox app on your phone. some brutal platform, like a sister platform of Microsoft's to view something. So
Coming
like on the Microsoft
exclusively to
Store.
Tubi.
Oh,
No,
no,
Nope.
that seems like something they'd own.
I'm just
I
screwing
believed it.
around.
Nope. TikTok.
exclusive to movies anywhere.
It's gonna be it's just gonna be TikTok videos in each.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're only gonna get it in 6-second increments.
Corey, what is your three predictions for Xbox?
Okay.
I'm getting shafted here, 100%. This is brutal. Nothing left.
Let's see. I think we are going to. Boy, I don't know. Okay, these are going to be out there because I'm not prepared at all.
Go for it. Be bold.
I think we're going to see some sort of 3D character platformer that's maybe outsourced. It's not from an internal studio. I bet it's like a second party type deal for Banjo or Conquer.
Oh, okay. You don't want Rare to do it though.
Is Microsoft producing that Fox RPG game that looked like Zelda?
Tunic?
Yeah, are they publishing it?
I don't know. I think it's pretty much I think it's just pretty much a idea at Xbox promotion. I don't think I think it's a timed exclusive, but I don't think it's exclusive. I think it's similar to the two Below, because I know Below is supposed to come to PS4 this year.
You said Banjo and Conquer? Is what
Yeah.
you said possibly? One of the two?
Yeah.
And like an outside studio would do that?
Yeah. I mean,
What studio you think?
not necessarily Platonic, but I think they would be a decent choice. But I think
Oh yeah, for sure.
They take that from Rare and give it to let someone else do it. That's
They own
interesting.
Rare now,
Yeah, that's
but-
the thing. Is I would
it's
think
a
Rare
licensing
would.
well
hell.
the thing is Rare, if they would ever sell Rare keeps all their IP. That was the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all messed up. It's fine print after fine print. It's
it
a
is.
disaster.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna get something like that.
I'd love that.
I bet the initiative teases Perfect Dark, even though they're not done hiring.
On. That's good. Thanks.
I mean,
Man.
Thanks.
I mean, I think 343 announces a Halo space shooter. No.
Nah,
Pod racer?
probably not. I don't
A
believe
Halo
it.
pod racer.
Yeah. Gosh.
Oh no!
We did talk about that on Arsenal X though. That Forza mission, the Halo Forza mission. And,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if they were to add Warthog Racing into Halo Infinite.
I'd be
Yeah.
down.
Actually, that first
Yeah.
one was really nice. I did have fun doing it.
That was pretty fun.
It
All
would
that
have to be
music.
monster truck style though. Like you'd like ramp up cars on your
That's fine.
Oh, good.
Warthog.
Over ghosts.
Does it have that crazy physics that's in the Halo series with the
Yeah.
Warthog?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it goes
goodness.
flying and flips 18,000
Yeah.
times
That
before landing upside
I'm
down
sorry.
and falling
That is-
on you.
that would be pure comedy. It's just having the Benny Hill music, it's just all of that happening. That would be pureness of comedy. I think that would make that my game of the year. If that happened.
Let's see what else. I bet in July when they show off Halo, they're gonna show off a whole bunch of like special editions and like all kinds of like statues and Master Chief's back type thing. And
Get a Master Chief helmet that doesn't fit your head.
yeah, I already got one of those.
Yeah. I said you'll
one
get the
just
rest
a
of
bit
your
bigger.
body.
Still
I
won't
said
fit
you'll
your
get the chest piece instead this time. So by the time
Every
then,
time.
Gonna be
then
made
yep,
for-
you get the full bodysuit eventually.
It's like a Happy Meal toy.
Wow.
Wow.
Keep building.
Eventually, you can put it on a toddler, and that's about it.
What would be your third prediction, Corey?
Man, I have no idea, man. I think Xbox. It's too soon for Gears, right? It's definitely too soon for Gears, especially since they're gonna have Gears 5 and Gears Tactics ready for launch for that thing. Halo's coming.
They're writing a story for Gears.
Oh yeah. Hellblade's coming. Ninja Theory already has their second project. Obsidian's working on Grounded and Outer Worlds DLC. I mean, we could see
like something new.
Yeah,
that's not like a remaster title or a sequel, just like a genre. Like
I mean, I think we could see it.
Studios.
I think we could see. I think we could see
nothing from third party or indie.
If you let me finish, Ed. Slap you around.
No, you won't.
I'm about to, not for this podcast, but for the other reason.
Oh yeah.
No, I think we'll see In Exile's next RPG, and I bet it's a pretty big RPG that people don't know that they want. But
the one that's gonna be on Unreal 5.
Yeah, because they already. I bet it's good. Just gonna be this massive undertaking that we won't see for like 4 years. But they're gonna say it'll be ready.
They're gonna announce it.
Yeah, I bet they say it's ready. Because In Exile has two teams, right? One's working on Wasteland 3 right now, which comes out in August, and the second team is working on something totally different. So I bet they show off their massive new RPG, and I bet it's...
I say 22.
Oh,
That'll be out.
I keep thinking of predictions as we go on with this that weren't so low hanging.
Text them to Jeff. So he's got
you need some help, buddy?
No, I've got some ideas. The thing is, right, is like there's so many like studios that they bought up. That's why I asked.
I know.
Like, what's something that's like?
I mean,
like
the other
new
thing.
IP.
I bet.
That just.
No, I'm changing my prediction because I know In Exile works on
you just take one more away.
I bet Compulsion Games shows off a proper We Happy Few sequel, and it is more like BioShock than their dumb survival game that they made.
Oh.
What survival horror?
We Happy Few, man.
We Happy Few.
Oh.
It was like played upon as like people are gonna want to get into who are BioShock players, and then they were like, wow, okay,
Yeah,
this isn't it. This isn't what I thought it was gonna be at all.
yeah. So that's my prediction.
Did you seriously text me shit, bro?
I did. Just one in case you need it. You don't have to.
So
use
my
it.
phone's at 1%. We'll see if it.
Good luck with that.
Brody, I would have came.
Oh yeah, that already had that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I figured you would, but
Jeff,
Hi,
Jeff, Ed's actually going to go next, so if you don't mind sitting.
No, Jeff, go ahead.
All right. So,
So,
I don't know if you said this one or not, Corey, but I think there'll be like a Halo Wars.
yeah, I was thinking of that.
Halo Wars.
I was thinking Halo Wars 3.
Yeah, like the show, whether or not like it'll be close to launching, I don't know, but I'm sure they'll announce something because I think they got Halo Wars 2 like pretty solid.
Yeah.
The original one not so much.
Plus
Halo
that Age of Empires team is so big now that they could probably split into two teams. So,
but now would they do that where it's PC first and then consoles later, like they did with?
I don't think
with
so.
Gears?
like
They did
Halo
in time
Wars
because
3?
of Game Pass, right? Wouldn't that be like the right way to do it?
Well, with the Halo Wars, they've at least launched on consoles, so I don't think it'd be a big deal to launch on both simultaneously.
Yeah, I
now,
mean,
Gears Tactics is a bit different, but
yeah, I think they've got the PC audience in a good place too because they have Flight Simulator coming. They have Age of Empires exclusively. They have In Exile and Obsidian's RPGs. So I think the PC audience for the games that they want are fine. And Halo Wars works so well on console. I don't see why. Halo's their biggest franchise, and
Flight Simulator's on console though too, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
PC.
coming later.
No, it launched on console.
Was
PC,
Halo Wars on 360 and
Yes.
Halo Wars 2 was on 1?
Yeah. Well, there is a definitive edition of Halo Wars 1 on Xbox One.
I could see a collection of Halo Wars 1 and 2 coming back. And the people who did Halo Wars, they didn't do Gears Tactics, right? It was someone else.
No.
I could see the people who did Gears Tactics do Halo Wars 3. I could see that happening.
I think World's End did Halo Wars 2, which is the Age of Empires team.
yeah.
No,
it
was
Halo Wars 2 is actually good.
No, Halo Wars 2 was developed by the Total War team, the Sega Total War team. Now I gotta look this up. It's really bothering me.
All right.
Go ahead. Number 2?
The number 2 prediction. So does it have to be like completely like
It has to be totally true.
It can be a
whatever you feel like.
It's
for a
like
game
I
that's
said,
been
it's
confusingly announced.
Whatever you want.
Creative Assembly, by the way, did. What?
I think we'll get a date for Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I think
that's going to be an Xbox thing?
Yeah, I do. I think it will be. I mean, as much as like PlayStation has that stuff. I mean, like Micah Barra's over at Xbox Coalition. Rob Ferguson's over at Blizzard now and Activision. It
seems pretty. The connections are there.
I feel like they do that. And then can you guys hear me still? Because Skype just up some weird ass message. Okay, so I think that they'll have a date for Overwatch 2 for sure. And then, oh geez, I think we'll get some weird peripheral. It's Microsoft.
Yeah,
we'll get something weird. I think we'll get like
Kinect is secretly built into the Xbox Series X. You just can't see it. It can still hear you. It can still read your movements.
There's a little pole that pops up the top.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the camera on it. Now, I think they'll try to get into like the fitness stuff, similar to what the Switch did with like Ring Fit Adventure. I could see them getting into something like that, just trying to be more family oriented. I mean, me and Brody discussed this on our podcast a couple times, but it's like PlayStation has such a stranglehold on like the overall console market in terms of like just size and market share. And the only way that I see like Xbox really slowly starting to creep into that again for this gen is going to be like family games in some essence. And they've worked with Nintendo on a lot of stuff, as Ed had mentioned, and I think that they're learning a lot of stuff there. But maybe we'll get some different titles that kind of go to the family side of things.
Well, and people joke about the Kinect, but like I thought those like the exercise games and stuff that they did with the Kinect.
Oh yeah, they're way better.
Were actually worked like really good.
Yeah.
But like I'll be honest, I was kind of bummed when they like just stopped. Like I get it. Like a lot of people really did not want it or like it, but like there were a lot of good things, like things that I enjoyed, that I could do with it, that it was just kind of a bummer. Like even, like my kids were still kind of young when it first came out. But just like the whole interaction stuff on Sesame Street was amazing. And like where you could, do the counting and stuff along with the thing and like, and answer things. And like, it was amazing. Like as far as like learning and teaching, it really had a lot of cool things that it could do. And like it was kind of like I'm probably like one of the few, but it was a bummer to just see it kind of get thrown to the side, for me. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Your Connectable is still alive.
Wow.
It needs attention.
Wow.
Oh man.
So that's your 3 predictions.
Yeah, that's it. That's my 3 for Xbox.
Ed, I cannot wait to hear your wacky, weird Xbox predictions. That probably has something to do with Nintendo.
Well, one of them does.
There it is.
Of course.
They're buying Nintendo.
That Microsoft announced that their Essential 1-3 collection comes out for Switch, and you use the Ring Fit, or you can use the Joy-Cons for it. I think they're exclusive. Number 2, I think they exclusively get Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox One, since PlayStation got Final Fantasy 7 Remake for a year exclusive. I think Microsoft snacks that up from Square Enix.
These are bold predictions.
I'm gonna say a strong no on the second one, but hey, you do you, man.
Hey,
I mean, I bet.
This is your show.
Out of anybody in Japan, Microsoft will want to get Square Enix. They would get them over Techno Kobe, and they would get them over Bandai Namco to make them something exclusive. Something very exclusive for their.
I will support half of that decision. I bet Microsoft gets Final Fantasy 16 on their on their video over Sony. I bet that comes out on both.
I think Microsoft is going to shell out the money to get them. To do it, because
they're gonna need that ninja money.
It would be amazing. Like I mean if they had a stranglehold on the next
country of Japan would hate Microsoft.
Probably.
Yeah.
They already do. So
That-
it's just not like,
more.
Japan could go ahead and hate them because Japan really got Nintendo at this pretty much. But it would be a big thing it would be a big slap to Sony here in America if that happens. It would literally it would be bigger than Call of Duty being exclusive with their DLC for PlayStation over Xbox. Square Enix announced Final Fantasy 16 exclusive for Xbox One and on Game Pass. And on
Game
Ultimate. Well, Game Pass Ultimate.
I can hear it now.
You don't think right,
world
but you don't
exclusive.
Right, you don't think Microsoft will shell out that money to get that exclusive?
I think
to get that marketing.
If they were going to do that, they would have done it for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
That's
a huge deal.
I think, but then the Final Fantasy VII remake somewhat played off, in a sense. In a way that it was good that it came out for PlayStation, because a lot of people gonna play it there on first for PlayStation because Final Fantasy VII originally came out for PlayStation, so they would know that it would be a bigger, definitely with PlayStation having a bigger market, they would definitely do that for I think Microsoft would definitely do that. I think Microsoft
They'd have to shell out some serious money because the money that Square would lose on that game would be insane.
And Microsoft was willing to shell out that money. They know they'll recoup that back on Game Pass. They know they would. Microsoft is not crazy. They probably been recouping money with Game Pass deals because everybody's paying $1 or $10 a month. And some people who don't think about Game Pass, that's just free money for them. So all that money would come right back.
I mean, Microsoft's putting in the work for Game Pass, that's for sure. I mean,
Ed, I did not leave because I didn't disagree with your point of view. From Windows saying my battery was low. It's like, the hell, I'm plugged in. I look over and then I see that like the plug is like out of the wall, and I'm like, oh, and I start.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, and I'm like trying to push it in and then just shut off. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though, Ed.
but like I said, it's a prediction. Anything could happen this summer. Anything can happen. It's not saying that it's real. It's something. I'm just saying.
No, it's a bold one. I picked the low-hanging fruit. Somebody had to take something harder. So, attaboy.
Last but not least, I think Killer Instinct 2 is going to get announced.
Oh yeah.
And not only will it be available on Windows and Game Pass, I think it's going to be available on Steam also. So,
okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about like all the plays. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with Steam is that Apple is doing a lot with Valve.
Mm-hmm.
Right. With a bunch of stuff, and it's like I don't know how much longer, like Microsoft really wants to, get in bed with Steam basically. If Apple's starting to do stuff,
I think even if Apple is still doing stuff with Steam, Microsoft want to reach as many people as they can. So that includes the Steam. If that includes Steam, they're going to do it for Steam. Whatever business deal with Apple and Steam, Microsoft do not even care about that.
The thing is, though, with Steam is like, okay, you can get Game Pass Ultimate and use the Microsoft Store and get all of our exclusives for, this amount of money a month, or we still get 70% of what we sell on Steam anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, I just think...
Yeah, I don't think they care either way on that.
Yeah.
What if Apple bought Valve, though?
Valve is too big. Valve is bigger than Apple in the sense.
No, they aren't. Apple's huge.
Apple could go buy Apple's cash, dude. It's like $200.
Apple was rumored to be buying
cash holding.
Apple was rumored to be buying Disney last year. So
yeah.
Well, to think about it, it wouldn't benefit Apple in no sense because Apple don't.
I think it benefits Apple because they don't care about the gaming market, and that gives them a way to get into the gaming market without actually
having to get into the gaming market.
Yeah. Because they're barely in it right now.
And I think a lot of I think a lot of people of the Steam community will be upset about.
I think in terms of I don't think Valve or Apple are interested in each other though, because of Valve wants to work with open source PCs and Linux and stuff, and Apple's so closed off that it just butts heads with everything that they all believe in. So I couldn't think of the word.
New bad Ed.
Motion.
New bad Ed. Because E3 is canceled and it'd just be dead at this point. We have no idea. New bad.
Yeah.
2 years. In 2 years, Apple will buy Valve within the next 2 years.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So we're going to jump into our 3 predictions for Sony. And Jeff, I'm going to start with you this time.
Oh,
I have some really good Sony ones.
One thing before we move on.
no, don't be doing this.
No. I can't believe nobody brought up the Playground Games RPG.
I said,
I know
did
you
we not
texted
talk
me,
about
but I was
Fable?
like-
I thought we talked about Fable.
Yeah, it was rumored to be Fable. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks for paying attention, Brody.
Well, I know, but that one wasn't specifically, or they think it's Fable, but they don't know for a fact that is what they're working on. So, anyway.
I mean, I know you don't
sorry.
pay attention on your own podcast, but
it's probably their version of Scale Bob. Dang, Playground Games Scale Bob. It's resting.
All right. First announcement for Sony. I think we'll see Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see Spider-Man 2, which is awesome. I think we will see. I don't want to say both because it kind of takes it away, but we'll see like a legacy IP. So we'll either see like a Sly Cooper. This guy's screw so many people over, but either Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, or Jack and Daxter.
You're taking all mine.
Just want to take
now
all
Jeff.
or what?
So I think that we'll either see something new. I don't think we'll see a remaster. But I'd love to see like a new Sly Cooper. And I'd love to see a Jack and Daxter. I mean, like Ratchet and Clank is cool, but I really would like to see Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, Jack and Daxter I'll put higher over
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, for sure. And then the third one is I think we'll see some peripheral from them. They have like that weird patent with that. Has anyone seen the one with like the little like plush character, whatever that sits on the couch in one of their patent filings, and it basically is like a pet that grows and like learns things or whatever. It's like basically they have what looks to be like a Furby, and it sits on the couch. And as you play stuff, it's like a companion, and actually, it's like taking Rob back from like the NES days and old school Nintendo days, and kind of having some character that has an app with it as well. And I think they'll show that off.
I know they had that pattern for, like if something like gets too hard for you to keep dying, it'll like help you through it. Kind of something like what Nintendo did in the past, but it's something that Sony it's some kind of pattern that Sony did where they somehow something will help you get past the part in the game. I think they announced it like 2 months ago.
I can't give a fourth, right? I can't do that.
Give an honorable mention.
Swing back to it, maybe.
Honorable mention.
Screwing everyone over.
Yeah, swing back. At least waited until we got done.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Corey, what is your PS5 prediction?
All right. My first prediction, even though Jeff already took probably a quarter of it, I think to get around their backwards compatibility issue with PlayStation 3, they're just going to release PlayStation 4 versions of their collections of like a Resistance trilogy, a Killzone trilogy, the God of War games, like all these IP that never made it over. Infamous, like their major ones. I think they're going to release some sort of HD 4K remasters of these games, and they're going to release them natively on PlayStation 4, and they'll be backwards compatible on PlayStation 5. I think that's how they get around their backwards compatibility issue with their first party.
Okay, all right. Okay. So they take the PS3 stuff to make it work on PS4, which then in turn allows it to work on.
Yeah, and I know that's a lot of work, and I know that's a lot of games to do that with, but I think that is actually cheaper for them in the long run to do that than to, actually work on a PlayStation 3 emulator in the PS5. So
environment, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first prediction, is that they announce most of those are coming, especially the IP that I think they're going to make sequels to.
Okay.
I think those God of War games are a shoo-in. I think Infamous will probably be a shoo-in at some point, and I think What was the other one I was thinking of?
Killzone.
Killzone will probably be a shoo-in. And then Insomniac's been teasing Resistance, so...
Oh, man. Resistance is great.
I've never played Resistance, although I love the Resistance 3 cover art.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I think 3 is the best out of them. 2 is good, and 1 has its problems, but it is a good intro to the series. Yeah, I like. Everybody's been one of the Resistance trilogy so bad.
Yeah,
like remastered for PS4.
Yeah,
they have so many good games.
Yeah, so
in the back there, holy cow.
I think Sony is going to tease Uncharted 5 from. I want to say Sony San Diego's second team, because Naughty Dog's clearly done, but I think they want Uncharted to keep going.
Is it the new one? The new team?
Yeah.
Or is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you think they take from the DLC with Chloe and that other character?
Nope. I think it takes off 4 or 5 years after the end of Uncharted 4. So it's gonna, no spoilers for Uncharted 4, although you guys sort of all have played it already. But that character at the end is who it's going to be about. So, so that, and then Sony is teasing a huge lineup for PlayStation 5. There was an image going around of Kratos, Aloy, and Spider-Man. I think they're going to drop that massive bombshell when they show off their games. I think they're going to announce all 3 at the same time, and they're going to stagger releases.
Did you hear the rumor of the boost mode? Kind of ties into like your first kind of shindig that you were talking about, where basically they just take like all the greatest hits on PS4 and like they boost mode it to PS5, and it's all like not it's up to 4K.
Yeah, kind of like the what Microsoft is doing like with Gears 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. I think it's not as extensive, but
it's more of like the PlayStation 4 Pro has a boost mode on it to help older games run better and smoother.
Okay.
That don't have a PlayStation 4 patch, so like a Pro patch. So, but yeah, those are my predictions. I think they're gonna drop that massive bombshell as soon as possible. I think they saw Microsoft's quote-unquote misstep with their Inside Xbox, and I don't think Sony wants to make the same mistake on their first gameplay reveal, right? And so I think they're just gonna drop all those bombs at the same time, all those announcements. So,
do you think one will actually launch with the PS5?
I think
it's wild.
I want to say Spider-Man, but I don't know. There's all these rumors that Horizon 2 will be ready within a launch window, but all this COVID stuff is like...
I don't think Spider-Man would be too difficult for... you have the environment already done.
You have the environment, you have the mechanics, you already have it running on the PlayStation 5 hardware, obviously, with that demo.
Yes.
That leaked, I think if you're going to have one at launch, Spider-Man's the easy one, I would say. Although they have been saying Insomniac's second team has been working on Ratchet & Clank for launch, so... That kind of... I don't think Insomniac would want 2 games at the same time.
Yeah,
but
I wonder if Insomniac been talking to Marvel, and just nobody knows about it or anything.
Well, they already greenlit Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but I'm just talking
Sony
about...
owns Spider-Man, the IP. They don't have to talk to Marvel. Sony owns all rights to.
Well, Marvel still has to okay it, I think.
Yeah, for the games, they still have some rights in it. I don't know where the line is, but
because I thought it was just the films.
No, well, like distribution rights for the films and the films, yes, Sony owns that 100%. But the games, it's like a gray area. It's like that gray area where X-Men were for a long time, and nobody wanted to touch it because nobody really knew what to do with it.
Or that theme park one where it's like anything west of the Mississippi can build Marvel stuff, but anything east of the Mississippi can't.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's just Avengers stuff now.
Is it?
Yeah, Disney World in Orlando is actually building like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Right. Yeah,
they're allowed to build the cosmic stuff. They're not allowed to do the Avengers stuff.
Huh.
Yes. Well, Jesse, what is your 3 predictions for Sony?
All right, so some of mine are gonna be not weird, but just like things that I've kind of been personally interested in seeing coming back. But so I do think that we'll get an Astrobot too.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna have a big section where they're gonna kind of do like they did a while back. I know a lot of people didn't care for it, but I liked it personally. But just like a big thing where they're just kind of focused just on what we can expect from the VR on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like we kind of already know they're gonna have better headset and all that kind of stuff moving forward, but I don't think they're gonna be ready to show any of that this year yet. I think that's something they focus on after the console's been out.
But they just do like a trailer announcement for it.
Yeah, where they just focus on like maybe some games, and maybe they'll tease like something about the new peripheral, but they weren't gonna actually talk about it yet until focus on the console first and then worry about that later. Like I think that's kind of how they're gonna handle that. My other prediction, and now like this is a game that I absolutely loved and like kind of was bummed that it eventually fell to the side, and like I've talked about it before that I would like to see it come to Xbox and them like snatch it up and make it like their Bloodborne. But I think that in 2017 I looked it up on this a little bit. They had announced a new Nightmare Creatures game, and Activision had let the IP just kind of like just go. And so one of the people who originally made the original ones actually picked it up for basically free, and now they have a studio and they owned it, and they did announce one in 2017, but we've heard nothing about it now. So I could see them maybe have like spend this whole time, these couple of years, they've been trying to figure out like what they want to do with it. And I could see something like that being something that Sony would want to show off, because I do think it would be more along the lines of like a Bloodborne, like that really just creepy, gritty kind of looking game, because that's kind of how the original ones were. Like in my opinion, I think that there almost might have been some inspiration for Bloodborne from Nightmare Creatures, because it something about those two games just really remind me of each other. So, but I think we might get something from that, and I think they completely like did something more with it, because I think when they showed the trailer for it in 2017, it was just like basically like talking, and they said that Nightmare Creatures was coming, and then there's like some creepy face at the end, and that was it. Like there really was nothing of gameplay or what the game's gonna look like or any of that stuff. So I could see them maybe revealing that during the Sony thing at some point.
And your last one?
And my last one, man, I've been trying to think of like what's like something different that like my Nightmare Creature one, but because all I can really think of is just like that we see some more like bigger VR games, but I'm trying to think of like I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head some of the names of the ones that did really well. I guess like maybe we could see like another Tetris Effect, maybe, but
okay,
something like that. But I don't know if I feel like that game was a massive hit for them, Tetris Effect. So I don't know. I guess I'll just say I could see them doing it too.
Doing it too. All right. Well, Brody, what is your three Sony predictions?
All right. Well, I think they're going to announce a Elite controller. I think PlayStation has seen the support that Xbox has kind of gotten with theirs. Granted, there's been some missteps there, but I think they know that there is a market for it, and I think they will finally take the opportunity to capitalize on it. My second one is kind of to bounce off of Corey's idea earlier. I think Naughty Dog is going to show off some new IP. I think they're going to go full on and show off something where it is kind of like Uncharted, where they kind of get to strut around with their peacock feathers out and type of thing and show off all of the crazy things they can do. But like you said, they seem like they're pretty much done with Uncharted, so I can see that definitely still staying within PlayStation's ecosystem, but how that works after that, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking of the DLC one with those two characters, because they look
Nadine and Chloe.
They could do an Uncharted 5 doing those two, because that DLC was really good.
I think
you could do just spin off Uncharted for the rest of your life and just have new characters on a dumb adventure, and like that. I think that Indiana Jones vibe action game could exist in perpetuity without Drake, right? Like I think Lost Legacy is, I think, my second favorite Uncharted game, and it has nothing to do with Drake, right? Like I think there's room for that type of third-person action exploration game.
Just a Sully game.
Give me just a Sully game, man. Just smoking cigars, drinking at bars, groceries. And just kind of like... It'd be more of a walking sim, though, because you just watch Drake do all the action stuff, and you're just kind of sitting there with your cigar, flying a plane in circles.
All right, here, look, I found a different way to get up there. All right, I'll meet you up there in about 10.
Yeah.
Your Sherpa.
The only thing about that
I'll be your Sherpa today.
The only thing about that is Naughty Dog actually owns the IP to that, and it's not actually PlayStation's to give around, and PlayStation doesn't actually own Naughty Dog either. They've just chosen to work with them, so they don't really have a whole lot of control in that realm.
I thought Sony bought Naughty Dog.
Yeah, no. I think Naughty Dog is.
I don't think so. I remember talking about it at one point. I guess I could be mistaken, but I know we have talked about it, but I thought they had always managed to keep their kind of freedom,
independence, because I know they did
they have a lot of creative independence. Really? Naughty Dog is a subsidiary of PlayStation Studios.
Okay. Yeah, after you said that, I do remember a story from last year sometime. I think it was relatively recent, but
I just think
even then, I don't know how much of the IP Sony actually owns at that point. I mean, I know they do own it, but I don't know what the contract deals are within that, whether they can take an IP and switch
Well, if you
it
remember, Sony Ben did make an Uncharted game for PSP or Vita or whatever. Right.
Yeah, all hell Vita, dude. All hell Vita.
So, and then my last one, I'm actually on the other side of this. I think that there is going to be some PlayStation VR announcement as far as the new headset. I think they will show it off this year. Just briefly, I don't think it's going to be out. I think it's going to be something that'll launch like next holiday year, but I think they're going to start to kind of dive into it a little bit and still try to keep that audience around. Granted, we do know the old headset is going to work going forward, but I think they're going to kind of start to lean into it a little bit. Not heavily. I think it's just going to be a teaser.
All right. Okay. So, my three predictions is that Resident Evil 8 is going to be announced. So I think Sony's going to show that off. And it's going to be a twist because Chris Redfield is now president of Umbrella. And now you have to try to fight his version of the zombies and everything like that. I think that would probably be a cool twist. I could see that happening. For number 2, I think Team Eco will announce a game for PlayStation 5. That would be kind of nice to see whatever they're up to, and that might be a PS VR game.
Shadows of the Colossus 2.
Oh man.
Goodness, I need that.
How has there never been like not only a sequel to that game, but like a total ripoff? Like, I mean, I know there's been a few smaller indie title, but like,
didn't Zelda kind of rip that off a bit?
In
some boss fights.
Not just boss fights though. What Zelda was just boss fights?
No. I just mean like in that mechanic. Like there was some boss fight in Breath of the Wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some of them. But
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to look it up. It's Insomniac I was thinking of earlier. Naughty Dog is entirely owned by. I knew it was one of the two, and they had tossed around the same IP a couple different times, and I got a little messed up. But it was gonna drive me nuts until I figured out what happened.
Yeah, they have recently brought. I think Insomniac.
Maybe the Shadow of the Colossus stuff, Corey, is like maybe it's like an IP headache or something.
Maybe
there's got to be like a legal headache.
I mean that
because they did the remaster.
Yeah, I think I think that whole studio has been a headache for them, to be honest. Even with the Last Guardian stuff and everything. So.
Oh my God, the Last Guardian.
Oh, I love that game.
Oh, a lot of people love that game.
It's
weird. There's a lot of people that actually really love that game, and I'm not knocking on it. I've never even played it. I have no horse in this race. So.
Ed loves it.
The thing about it is the Last Guardian feels something like I keep saying. Team Ico is Sony's Nintendo, and so it feels very different than what they because even Corey, you talked about all there's over the shoulder third party stuff. Over the shoulder kind of gameplay that Sony continues to do for a lot of their first party games. And so The Last Guardian is something that's completely it feels original, and it feels something that's just really fresh from Sony, that it doesn't feel samey like any other games. Like you could pop in Red Dead Redemption 2 and it'll still feel like one of Sony's first party games because of the over the shoulder stuff. And it feels like no one in the industry is doing anything what Team Ico was doing. So when The Last Guardian came out, it's that you have this dog who's not really following commands and stuff. But I'm like, there are moments that are breathtaking. There are moments that when the dog is doing something and you get into this action, it really feels just like a breath of fresh air. Go ahead.
I think they have some fantastic ideas, but I feel like the execution just isn't there sometimes, and that's what really sucks. Because like Shadow of the Colossus was awesome to look at and awesome the remake, but controlling it made me so angry within the first hour of playing it that I literally stopped playing it because I was trying to climb a wall and I could not climb it, or I was trying to climb up one of the Colossus and I couldn't do it. It was so frustrating to me, and so I agree. I think like the stuff in like The Last Guardian, they did some incredible stuff, but it feels like if they had a little bit more help on the production side of it, they'd be solid.
Right, because I think the director left, or they was having problems with that game during the development, so I could see why it came out a little bit problematic for people. But there are times where you just see the wind and the smoke, and you just see the grass moving, and it's just you and Trico. If you just like don't move and look at it, it's really breathtaking. It's like it's really nice to see, and it's just like, man, no one in Sony's first party is doing anything like this. It don't feel showy, it don't feel cinematic. It just feels like something you look at and you be like, dang, they really put some work, and I respect what they do. So that's what I get out of The Last Guardian.
That's the quote on the box.
Because,
dang, it looked like they did some work, and I respect what they
did. Because the thing about it, like The Last Guardian is kind of almost the same thing like I felt when I played Rye. Where it's just feel like it's very engrossing. It's just like, wow. Yeah, same quote.
They did some work, and I respect
it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, so for my third and final one, I think they'll show Gran Turismo off for PlayStation. I think it's time for that series to come back, and I kind of feel like they're gonna make it a mix of Horizon and The Crew. Like they'll still have it. I think there's gonna be different modes in it where you do get that real simulation feel to it, but you also get that arcadey, and you still get like just an open world thing where you could just drive around and go to different spots and be like, oh, you went to this spot. Here's some history about it, and then you read the history. Like you'll drive to different racing stadiums. and you just be like, oh, that's really cool that they broke it all down. Or you drive to a factory that makes these cars and hear some history about it. I could see that happening in Gran Turismo, in their next Gran Turismo. Yeah, just like really put in some work. So yeah. So now we come to Nintendo.
You might as well go first, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So I guess it's on me. So for Nintendo, I really think that we're going to get another Ring Fitness kind of style game. I think we're going to get a new game that goes with the Ring Fit like equipment. I think we'll get a new game for that. I think we'll get the Mario, of course, the Mario collection. But I think we'll see, even though we're seeing Paper Mario, I think we'll see something with Mario and Luigi, with their
Like
with their game.
Superstars?
Well, let me take that. Let me take that back. I think Super Mario 3D Land happens. That they remake the Game Boy game that came out and they put it on Switch. Like they completely remake it.
You think it'll be part of the Deluxe, the 3D World Deluxe? They'll just put 3D Lands levels in there?
I think so, yeah. I think that would be cool.
Because I know that was rumored at some point where like the Deluxe version of 3D World would have 3D Land levels in it. Kind of remixed for multiplayer, because wasn't 3D Land only single player stuff? I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't play a lot
If
of 3DS.
they do that Mario collection, that's gonna be
That's gonna be huge.
Gosh, dude,
absurd.
I'm
I
like,
can't wait.
I'm
But
already
how much
melting.
is that gonna
Mind.
cost?
I'm already melting because
I think still
four
$6.
outlets this weekend, and two of them that I trust significantly had posted the Metroid Prime trilogy Shadow dropping in June. And it's just
Wow.
I'm like,
And it's available now.
I know.
Yikes!
Yeah.
June 19th.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that they would?
They listed it. A Swedish retailer listed it, and then now it's in Best Buy's internal system for a June release.
Hold on now. If it's in Best Buy system,
No, well, some of these weird retailers you never heard of, like
yeah.
but like sometimes, and I know like Best Buy adds stuff based on rumors and speculation and stuff, but like now it's showing up in multiple retailers listings, and GameStop has 19 untitled Switch SKUs scheduled for this year. Like, I'm starting to believe it a little bit. So, and plus, like in a year where COVID is like really taking over, and Nintendo's gonna, I mean, all these companies are gonna need to fill their libraries with stuff. Mm-hmm. Nintendo has the back catalog to fill a library on this thing, right? Like they have probably at least 6 more bangers on Wii U. They have a ton of Wii stuff that hasn't made it over. Maybe up-res some 3DS games and port them over. Like they
Zombie.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Zombie U. Oh god.
Hey, Zombie U did well on on Wii U than it did on the other platforms.
It's because it sucked on the other platforms, and everybody knew it sucked before it got there.
Yikes. Well, my last.
I'm not gonna lie, I bought it on launch day with.
There it is.
I bought. Let's see, what did I buy on launch day for Wii U? I bought that. I bought Darksiders 2. I bought New Super Mario Brothers, and I bought. I think I bought Call of Duty Ghosts on Wii U.
Oh God.
Yikes.
Oh my.
Ooh, did you do the thing where the grenade's on the screen? You can flick it out of your way.
Nope, I didn't get that far.
Oh, that's great.
And
Not gonna lie,
so-
I really didn't care for Ghosts, so I traded it back in and got something else. I think. I don't know. I don't even remember what was there at the time.
It wasn't much better on anything other than
I think I
Wii U,
traded it in
don't
for
worry.
a Pro controller, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yikes.
So my super out there, and I'm going to get tons of looks for this one. I think 2K and Rockstar is remaking Grand Theft Auto 3 for Switch.
No.
I don't think they're remaking
No.
it. I think they'll
Hold on.
re-release it.
They'll
They'll re-release
just
the
hear me out.
version they released on PS4.
I mean, just hear me out. Can you see that game being remade for Switch? Even though 2K is
Remade? Like a remake? Or
Like
just
a
like
remake.
remastered and like
No.
rezzed up and
Be
ported?
down Grandmaster.
it's
They can't even.
remake it.
I mean, it's too much to Switch.
I mean, they could. LA Noir ran on Switch, so that's
They
why
had
I
a
was saying.
lot of problems for a long time, though.
But that game had a lot of problems anyway. To be fair,
And plus,
Fair
and
enough.
plus,
which is why Team Bondi is doesn't exist anymore.
did Rockstar develop the LA Noir for Switch, or was that ported?
It was ported by Virtuous, I think.
That sounds right.
Because it wasn't Iron Galaxy or Panic Button. I think it was. I think it was the same team that did Final Fantasy X.
Okay, so you're saying GTA 3 on the Switch. However, GTA 3 came to PlayStation 4, right? Didn't
No.
it?
Yeah,
It did, but it's in the trilogy pack. It's the original.
It was a PlayStation 3 360 game.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
GTA 3?
right
3? Oh, I was thinking 4. My bad.
No, 3.
No, GTA 3 that
Yeah, 3.
They remake and they put it on Switch.
I got you now. Yeah, so that's PlayStation 2 era.
Yeah.
But they
I don't know
It'd
if
be better
it would
to
hold
put
up.
San
Like, would
Andreas.
people really want that? Yeah, exactly to that point. Like, why wouldn't they do San Andreas at that point?
Because 3 wasn't. I mean, people loved 3,
Not
but
that big of a game though. Like
San
in
Andreas-
today's
San
standards.
but it was new at that time. You know,
San
like that was a
Andreas-
new thing.
San
Yeah.
Andreas wouldn't take much to remake. I think going
Already
back.
on my phone right now.
I think going back to one of their biggest properties, and giving that a whole thing a refresh. Because like if you play GTA 3 now on PlayStation 4, it's terrible with the auto aiming and the controlling and the camera and the driving.
Well, it was bad then, but we didn't know any better. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
But I'm like going in and knowing like how Sleeping Dogs play, knowing how Batman Arkham Asylum plays, knowing how some open world games, even the Assassin's Creed games now, a lot
To
of the
be fair,
open world games now.
when-
Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, to be fair, when people praise Grand Theft Auto, it's for the open world and the things you can do, not the controls ever.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
that is
So
true.
Very
if they do
true.
San Andreas though, why wouldn't
Why wouldn't you just release
they
a
would
trilogy
if they
pack?
remaster that? I mean, they'd remaster it also for like the new systems because I mean that's the money pit. I mean,
I think
that's
it's because the other systems are will get Grand Theft Auto 6.
no, but they're
well,
not getting it for years.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and the
but
thing
I'm
is
saying, I'm saying what Rockstar is focusing on. They're focusing on 6 for the other platforms, but if they have I don't know if Rockstar has another team, but if they have another team outside of doing Bully 2, outside of doing LA Noir or any of their other properties, like was it Manhunt? I think that was one of them. In State of Emergency, instead of they're like
State of
off-brand,
Emergency's never coming back.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
needs
they
to
did-
stay dead.
they did 2 games.
That was the worst game ever.
Ed, you might as well have just said Agent switch from a PS3 exclusive to a Switch exclusive.
Okay, well, this is my thought though. Like there's a lot of rumor going around that the next game from them is gonna be like Vice City. So like I could see them like if anything like
Bring back Vice
you
City.
know like bringing Vice City to Switch,
Well,
and
I
I
know-
think everything else as well. But I think I could see a remaster of that happening.
I know with 2K saying that they want to bring some of their old games for Switch, because I think they just have is it a publishing contract with Rockstar? They don't own Rockstar.
No, they own
It's
Rockstar.
just
Take-Two owns
Take-Two
2K
owns
and Rockstar. So
Yeah.
2K would be like Mafia, BioShock, XCOM, NBA 2K, whatever sports franchises they're bringing. Rockstar's kind of their own entity inside Take-Two, I would say.
And Take-Two is just
Which really quick, like, so, you know, a lot of people have been talking about the Mafia thing, and I noticed that they released the trilogy recently, and no one's talked about it. Or is that
because
always
the main-
been
I've
the
seen
main-
quite a bit about
the
it.
quick-
so what happened? So what it is that 2 and 3 is out now. You could buy that, but you
Yeah.
can't play Mafia 1 because it's still being made.
in that
so right-
trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can pre-order the trilogy and play
Oh,
Mafia 2 and 3 now,
okay.
but you have to wait till
Okay.
August to play Mafia 1 when it
Yeah,
comes
what?
out.
Oh,
They're
Yeah,
also
like-
selling them separate as well, I
So
believe.
Yeah,
stupid.
the Mafia 1 remake is actually only $40. So that's actually
Is the
And
trilogy
they've done a
60?
lot of work on that thing too, from what it looks like.
I know. Looks great.
Yeah, I
'cause
might actually pick that up. I've never played any of them, but I've
I
always
haven't.
heard great things. So
3 is good. I beat 3. I never played 1 and 2 though.
Yeah.
okay,
On the-
yeah,
on the-
I've been wondering about that. I was curious.
On the GTA thing, I could see them releasing for $60 a pack that has GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yep, I could see. That's
Well,
what I
because
was.
that's the
thinking
one
too.
that they have on. That's the one that they have on PlayStation 4.
Yep.
I don't think Xbox has it.
I mean, I could see too. I could see Rockstar releasing the 360 version of Grand Theft Auto 5. You're gonna need a massive memory card for that, but
I was gonna say,
Ooh,
card
but-
up.
I could see 4, but I don't know about 5.
yeah.
And see-
That might be a stretch yet.
And seeing those on Switch, I wouldn't think. I was just thinking, like I said, outside the box, I'm gonna get looks. But if something like that happened, how you think people will react? Would they have that Witcher 3 kind of reaction to it to be like, "Oh, they're crazy, ain't no way," but I'm still gonna buy the game because this is intriguing.
Oh, it will still sell fantastic on the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if that's the only console somebody has, like being able to go back and play those GTA games. Oh yeah, it'll sell
And-
great.
And it being remade, kind of like GTA, not 4, but kind of like almost like 5 or something that Rockstar could do to like update it and like really fix a lot of that stuff. Like
Well,
graphically,
the
it's-
thing
I'd be
is,
surprised
Would
if
they
even
touch
do that.
5? Because you
no,
the
their
online would
online
suck.
sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the online sucks on
Touch any
Xbox and
online
PlayStation.
stuff, Yeah.
I think I don't think they need to touch 5 because I think everybody has gotten away from the campaign of GTA 5
Yeah,
and
but the
really it's
online.
not just fit. Yeah, the online is everybody playing, but like the
I
actual
don't know if
game
you'd be able to
story.
play the online. I bet it would
No.
just be the campaign.
Yeah,
if
I wonder if they
anything.
would
But I
release
still
just-
don't think GTA 5 is coming.
I
Like,
wonder
I
if they
can
could-
see the older ones, but
I wonder if they were testing, Rockstar was testing to see if with LA Noire, if they were testing to see if people had interest in Rockstar games. But the problem is, I think you released
Such
the
a
wrong
bad
Rockstar
test.
game to test that with. Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a weird one to release.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
It's
don't
like
know.
way
but-
too mystery-ish. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
That game was interesting. Like it was cool because that was the first one where they really did like really detailed facial expressions using mocap.
Yeah.
But I mean,
If
Besides that, yeah.
anything, I would actually prefer Max Payne 3 on Switch. Like if it was gonna be a remix one, I would prefer that. I think that's probably one of Rockstar's best games ever made. Like
Yeah,
from graphics
it's
to
a good
story
game.
to music, I think it's the best one.
dude, Micro Machines.
Oh wow! So
Roll
Jesse,
again, baby.
so Jesse, what is your 3 predictions for Nintendo?
How about that Kid Icarus paper blanket? No, I was kidding.
I can see that happening.
It's an ongoing joke, but no. I definitely. I mean, I've talked about this a million times, but like, I definitely want some Pikmin, a new Pikmin, or the trilogy, coming over. So, because that and Zelda are my 2 all-time favorite franchises on Nintendo. Like, those are the 2 that I want the most. But so yeah, something about something Pikmin for sure. Like a legitimate game, not that 3DS stuff or whatever.
Mhm.
And then, man, I think we might get the Mario sports game. I could see like a baseball.
striker.
I'm thinking,
No, where's my
Yeah.
Mario
Something
Golf?
like that. Yeah.
or
Where's my
soccer.
Mario
Well,
Golf.
yeah,
Soccer
golf.
striker,
Yeah, golf or baseball. Either of those would be great.
Oh, I want Strikers
What?
back so bad.
That would sell tons.
Oh, I want it so bad.
Yeah.
So good.
That game continued. It's crazy. That game continued to sell out for years
Yeah.
at toys. Like for holiday, every time we got that game in, it's sold out quickly on Wii. It's crazy.
And then my out there prediction, if you haven't noticed, there's been a lot going on with Lego and Mario. Mm-hmm. So I think we could see like an actual Lego teamed up with Nintendo kind of Mario game, like something to do with Lego. Game. Like and
like
I was
Yoshi's
thinking,
Woolly World, but like Mario, like
yeah,
Lego.
Yeah,
okay.
Made with Legos. And I'll even go as far to say that we're gonna get a special edition Switch that will look like it's made out of Legos.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I bet those Legos.
Almost like Jesse, like the Wii controller that they had.
Yeah, kind of like
I bet I bet those Lego sets function as amiibo too.
It'll be the Switch Lite though. It won't be like the full Switch. It would be a Switch Lite.
Boo! I want Lego Joy-Cons. That way, if when the Joy-Con starts,
you have to.
That way, when the Joy-Cons start drifting, I can just take it apart and put new Lego pieces in it.
I'll get you with that. I'll buy that. So,
put like some rubber wheel piece on it, Lego piece on it.
Jeff, what is your predictions for Nintendo?
Man, he did the Pikmin one.
I was Pikmin too.
I just love Pikmin, so I have to.
I think we're ready for another Mario Kart.
Yeah, I do too.
I think we're definitely due for that. Obviously, they've sold the hell out of Mario Kart 8, and it worked for them, so that's good.
And they're still selling. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they still are. I mean, it's a must-have, right? Like when you pick up that system. But I think we'll do that. I'm optimistic that we would see.
Say it, Jeff.
Features and mechanics similar to Double Dash possibly be available.
I want Double Dash on Switch so bad.
Yeah,
I bet to come back, dude.
Well, I bet that's possible, but I bet they have like a single and double rider mode just to give people more replayability.
Yeah, no, definitely a mode. It won't be like set as stone that you have to be double. But
there could be two different Grand Prix in there. One is a Double Dash style Grand Prix, and one is just a single.
That's what I'd like to see if you're gonna do it. I mean, I personally love it, but there's gonna be a lot of people that won't love it.
I want that.
My wife
with Double Dash.
Yeah,
I would need all four of you guys to just throw Phoenix down on me because I think I'll die if that happens. Like literally, just fall out.
Dude, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then, gosh, I think we'll see maybe a Star Fox game, like a decent one, not the walking chicken walker.
How about that?
God.
How about that Star Fox Grand Prix that they were teasing last year and never happened, or that was semi-leaked?
I still want that. I still want that.
I just don't know why you would do that with, I don't know, Mario Kart. Like it kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it kind of sabotaged it.
Yeah, it's like eating your own foot a little bit. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
That's gross.
Well,
I think also there'll be a bunch of characters in this new Mario Kart. I'm gonna go back to Mario Kart for a quick second, but I think there'll be a ton of characters in it, like way more than previous.
It'll be Smash Kart, pretty much. I bet.
Can we get Mauser and King Wart?
Yeah,
sure. We can have everybody.
I still I think it's gonna be a Smash type deal. I bet you're even gonna see like Pac-Man and Sonic and Mega Man show up in there.
Should Sonic be in a car?
No, he's just gonna run
faster than the car.
No, see what you're gonna do when you go to choose your cart.
He's gonna
Sonic
have a car body and hold it up.
Cardboard box.
Yeah.
Cardboard box.
Yeah.
No,
he's gonna Flintstones
it'll
that
be the
thing.
Flintstones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sonic R meets Mario Kart.
Yeah. So Star Fox, I think, and like a proper Star Fox. Gosh, and then like a way out there kind of deal.
I mean, it's a third prediction. You can make a way out there.
I think they might take some Nintendo IP that's not like super core, like not Mario. But I think they might announce like some Nintendo stuff going to xCloud and to Game Pass, and allowing that to be played, through xCloud. I mean, they have the xCloud stuff through Switch. They've been rumblings of this, but I think that they'll make a they'll make the statement that they are working together on bringing some things, but I don't think it's going to be like, I don't think you're going to see Yoshi anytime soon on a service like that. But I think we'll get to see some things for sure come out from that in terms of a big thing.
Do you think something like Minecraft Dungeons, even though, like, let's say of course the game will probably be out by the time you guys see this, but Minecraft Dungeon get an update with some Nintendo stuff, and because now it's on xCloud, you can play it on your Xbox or.
Well, I think it's like it's you see like Halo Wars and stuff like that, because the Switch is underpowered, but if it can utilize xCloud, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's an Android tablet, right? So as long as it's got an internet connection to it, it can feasibly run what it needs to run with the proper connection. Now, would online suck? I have no idea. My bet would probably be yes. But I think you might see some stuff like that, and that's how they kind of get away with the the issues that we just talked about with Grand Theft Auto. But it would be under that clause of mainly Microsoft stuff. But I think you might also see stuff go both ways. Like I don't know why you wouldn't have
because I would love to see
Mario Rabbids.
Like
Mario Rabbids or like a Mario Party or something.
I would love to see like Box Boy and Box Girl on Game Pass or using xCloud. Like that could happen. Because it's not such a big game, but I think Microsoft players would probably love to be like, oh, this is kind of a cool puzzle platforming kind of a game.
What about
Microsoft doesn't have like good platformers really. I mean, honestly, Yooka-Laylee is great, but that's also on other systems. What was it? Was it Super Lucky's Tale? That was a flop.
Yeah,
the second one's really good.
Yeah,
the second one's really good, but the first one wasn't very good.
So it's just like, I don't know. Like, again, it's that missing link, right? And if you can get a bunch of, younger kids that are playing Switch and it intertwines with an Xbox, maybe you can get those, kids who have a Switch growing up choosing an Xbox instead of a PlayStation as well, and then migrating to that as well on top of the Switch.
Can you use the Switch Pro controller for xCloud?
I
Yeah.
think it's
any Bluetooth controller you can use.
Okay.
Including PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an update or when xCloud first came out, they was like any controller could work on it.
Yeah, that was the big thing that they sold. They wanted to tell people that if you prefer the PlayStation 4 controller, that you can use that too as well. They want people to be able to play how they want to.
Okay.
But I do think the Xbox controller is better than the Switch Pro controller, though.
I would fight you on that.
Yeah.
I hate the Switch Pro controller's D-pad. I hate it. I can't.
It feels good to me. I can't play Mega-Man.
I hate how there's no rumble.
There's rumble. Is there not rumble?
Pro controller has it.
Pro controller has
The
rumble.
Pro.
Yeah.
Just
The official Pro controller does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about third party one?
Oh.
Yeah.
Third party. Scrub.
I don't know why they don't unlock Rumble for third party Pro.
Or
just
I
third-party
think it's to
controllers.
make the controllers cheaper, so they don't have to put those little spinning motors in there.
Yeah, because I think it's pattern, and they have to pay people for that. It's
Well, and probably with
HD
them
rumble
having that
too.
HD rumble, that they probably don't really, maybe they haven't figured out how to duplicate it without breaking a patent. I don't know.
Yeah. So Brody, what is your 3 for Nintendo?
Oh, mine are all game related because I don't know. I can't think of anything off the wall that Nintendo would do with like a peripheral because it's hard to predict what they're gonna do in that realm. Really,
Hell yeah,
they have a
it is.
Pilates ring and cardboard so far. So,
Well, the one
Virtual
thing,
Boy 2.
the one thing that they had, I think on the Wii with the sensor that you put your thumb in or your finger in,
Yeah.
and relax.
yeah, the
Oh
heartbeat
my gosh,
sensor.
the vitality
The
sensor.
vitality sensor.
Yeah.
I think they're working on games. I think they announced that some of that is coming back, but not the actual vitality sensor.
Oh, thank
uses
God.
But-
the IR camera on the bottom of the right Joy-Con to test it after you get done. I'm not even kidding. It's messed up.
Can you see Nintendo doing that?
Kind of works, not great, but it kind of works.
Can you see Nintendo do an ASMR video game with the Joy-Con?
Man opens up a Bud Light and you feel
Dude,
there's in your hand.
Dude, there's enough weird stuff on that eShop
so
that
much.
probably utilizes that HD
Oh,
rumble
yeah.
in weird ways.
For
Sometimes when Ed and I record Nintendo Power Block, we go into the eShop and see what's on sale, and it's a lot of those like
waifu simulators.
Yeah, and like we read the really bad translations of them, and then you just like you watch the trailer and you're like, God, I hope my wife is not standing right behind me right now.
Some of them, as you're scrolling through there, some of them do make you just feel dirty. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a dark.
Like-
it's a dark part of the internet for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Who knew Nintendo eShop was a dark part of the internet?
Well, the episode that you guys had Zombie Kills on, where she talked about that one where you're an old person and
Later
an old
daters?
folk.
Yeah, later daters.
Yeah, later
I have-
daters. That
I
sounds
mean,
awesome.
I
Sounds
love the
hilarious.
game. It's insane. It's good. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to get through and make your choices.
Oh
But
my god.
I'm still waiting for the 2 other episodes. But it's fun. It's funny. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
That game
So-
is open.
So my first prediction is, I think it's about time for a new Donkey Kong game.
Yes, Tropical
Yes.
Freeze 3, please. Or
Yep.
whatever.
Tropical
Whatever it
Freeze.
is.
Bongos.
Or something of that nature. My
Ooh,
second
yeah.
one.
Donkey Kong suburbs. No, I was kidding. Instead of country.
Donkey Kong, he wears a tie already. All he needs is a briefcase, and he's just walking down the road. And he has
Donkey
Oh,
Kong Wall Street.
Yeah, New Donk City, dude.
yeah.
Remember Nintendo did that Wall Street board game for Mario?
Yeah, with
Mario-
the Dragon Quest stuff in it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really terrible.
But it
What was that
just-
for? Wii, I think.
Yeah, for Wii.
Yeah, it was really weird.
I'm sorry, buddy. What's your number 2?
No, you're good. I was just trying to think if I remembered that at all, and I don't think I do.
You don't need to.
Doesn't sound like I missed anything. My second one was a Mario and Rabbids 2.
Man, that was my first one.
I don't know why I like when the first one was announced. I was like, I hate it, and then I played.
Everyone had that reaction.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
I
amazing.
love it.
Everyone had that reaction. Like, no, screw that. Nobody wants that. And then it
And
came
No
out. And it
one
was,
wants rabbits.
No, but
By the way,
Yeah.
if you want a really bad translated version of the Rabbids Kids TV show from France, I think it's on Netflix. So
Oh wow!
that's what I've always wanted.
I remember everybody. Laughed and was upset at E3 that Mario Rabbids was.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get all the not reviews. You get everybody talking about that game play after they played it and just or watching it and was just like, "Oh, this is gonna be a big hit."
well,
like
it's because it's a really good like baby's first XCOM game. Like it's a really
Yeah.
good game. Like if you take out the annoying rabbit stuff, it's a great
Yeah, I hate
tactics
rabbits.
game. So
But you
It's
get to
it's-
kill them.
Ed, remember when I almost bought
and I
that
feel
$40
like they were
Luigi
actually
rabbit?
fun.
Yeah. The level of, I don't even want to say storytelling or
No.
the writing in general, it was better. They actually did a
Yeah.
pretty good job without oversaturating, like the fart
Yeah.
jokes and such.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did not
Corey,
feel
what
like
you
a
say?
Minions movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Remember when I almost bought that Luigi rabbit, the statue, the $40 statue from the Ubisoft store? Nobody talked me out of it.
They
I
were
think
going to
I'm-
let you.
There were too many Switch games coming out at the
They were
time, or I
like,
would
oh
have.
shit, this guy's serious.
Yeah. We actually have to
and-
produce one.
Hey, Brody, what is your third game?
My third one is, I think they're going to go back and remake another Fire Emblem game like Shadows of Valencia.
Yeah.
You just want that.
Yeah,
I
mean,
want that, but I
I
also
do.
think it will happen.
Well, there was
I
a rumor that Fates
Probably
was.
more than anything.
There was a rumor that they were remastering Fates.
Oh, no, don't do Fates.
because
No, don't do that.
they have
I
they
like
have
Fates, but
they have the Famicom ones that never came to America. I think Fire Emblem started coming when the Game Boy Advance was out.
There was already like 6 or 7 of the games out before it even came to the West.
right
Mhm.
because that's why I said the Famicom had some.
Yeah.
And
Which-
I think Game Boy Advance was the first time it came to America. I think.
Yeah, which was Was that Shadow Dragon or was that just straight Fire Emblem? I think it was just straight Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Because it was what, Game Boy Advance, was it DS? I know GameCube got one.
It did come to Game Boy Advance. There was one on DS. But I'm thinking the naming conventions of the Fire Emblem games have gotten really messed up, especially when they did finally bring them to the West. Because I think Shadow Dragon was also just called Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it was a remake of the first one.
Right.
Okay. So it's kind of a Final Fantasy
really,
situation.
really gets so messed up.
Yeah.
It's very hard to remember all of that unless you're really diehard. And
plus,
I really love that franchise, and I still can't keep them all straight sometimes.
I think the one for Game Boy Advance that was just called Fire Emblem is actually the fourth Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, something like that. And then there's like Sacred Stones, and like there's a million of them. But I had heard rumor that they might be doing it anyway. So, but I think it will get announced this year.
Yeah, Shadows of Valencia is actually.
I would just take a regular eShop digital release only of Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh, don't make it only eShop, man. Don't be doing that.
You know what would be even better? Wild Arms. That doesn't Wild Arms. So
I would love.
I love Wild Arms, but
I would love to see Awakening brought, even just like the original form of it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But God damn it, can we give them some feet, please?
Give them feet.
That was one thing that
feet
almost turned me away from this franchise.
Jesse, I could see Wild Arms coming back. I just don't know who would develop it. And if they remade the first one and it was better, I didn't.
What about Arms, Ed? Because last time we were on this, you wanted Arms.
Yeah, you wanted Arms too.
Said no.
That was the deal that we made. Arms 2 was going to be.
I said that
Arms is not coming back. They're going to make feet before they make Arms, dude.
I actually am with Ed on this one. I listened to that episode, and just recently with things that have been going on, they've been kind of bringing Arms back into things again. Like, didn't they just add them to Smash?
Yeah, but Smash characters get added all the time.
I know, but if people really don't care about Arms, why would they even add it?
Because Arms is a Nintendo IP, and they get shoving as much of it in there as they can.
Yeah, they don't have to pay.
I don't know. I still think it's possible.
I played Arms with my nephews.
I don't agree with that on things like that,
really
but I actually do.
No, dude.
I mean,
that's not even the worst game I
actually
played.
finally put Ridley in the game, so
yeah,
and that was something he swore up and down he would never do. So, I mean, might as well throw Springman in there.
Can we not have Arms? Can we not have an Arms? Jesse and Ed, do you guys really want another Arms?
No,
I don't care either way, but I just do think it's gonna happen.
It's not that I want it because it's Nintendo. Of course,
then you're wishing bad ill.
But the thing about it is that Nintendo has seen the success that Arms did, and so they're going to continue that success, and they're going to probably got new characters, new ideas, and they're going to make an Arms too. Because for a new IP, it was successful for Nintendo. The same way they thought about Splatoon.
There's nothing else to play. There was that, and then milking a cow.
I mean, it was a lot to play, but it was just at that time. You know, this is Switch, the first year of games coming out. That for a new IP with Nintendo, that's very weird.
There was not a whole lot out at that time because I bought Arms 2 when I bought my Switch, and my choices were basically Mario Kart, Arms, and Splatoon.
Old Mario Kart.
Old Mario Kart. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to be fair,
released Mario Kart that also sold like the most copies of anything else on the Switch. But
and it was just like for a new IP, you know, that was kind of like I said, it was very rare for Nintendo to do a new IP because the last one before Arms was Splatoon, and everybody was just like, exactly, and people were just like, I'm not going to play this, but look how popular Splatoon had been for months.
Yeah.
You know,
well, so just give us Punch Out Switch hit.
Why not?
I would love to see it.
I have that fitness boxing.
Yeah,
it's kind of in the same realm.
I just would like them to do an actual legitimate
asking for another Arms is like asking for another Wii Music. So I will not stand behind
would
it.
Would you take Ready to Rumble from?
I would.
I don't need another ARMS,
no,
but I would
take
argue
music
ARMS
from-
is better than people give it credit for.
It's not terrible, but I
I
don't
mean, it's not a game I
know
want
if
to
we
spend
need
like
another one.
60 hours in or anything, but it was fun for like a couple hours, you know? I mean,
Yeah, it was a fun experience that I wish someone else would have bought and I played at their house.
my nephews had a blast, but I also played 1-2 Switch 3 weekends in a row, so like
Oh,
like the last 3 weekends. So
oh,
my
Recent.
nephew, dude, my
Okay.
nephews think 1-2 Switch is the greatest game ever made. So they're also 7 and 5. So you know, whatever you can.
Look at Jeff. Jeff is just like, you know what?
Dude, they think that
That
they
game
think that
was a demo.
dude that
The
game,
game's a tech demo.
dude that they think that
$50 tech demo.
they think that like the samurai sword catching game is the greatest game that they've ever played. It's literally the only, like, when they say let's play 1-2 Switch, they mean the sword catching game, and that they literally played that for like an hour the last time they were here. Just
Corey,
that game.
Simpler times.
Corey, what is your 3 games? Jeff, you know I love you.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick.
I love you, Jeff. I already do.
I think Nintendo teams up with Ubisoft for another Nintendo crossover. I want it to be Mario Rabbids 2, but I think it's going to be something a little bit more.
Unravel. Oh wait, that's EA. My bad. That's a really bad IP. My bad.
Wow.
Look,
Mario and Peggle crossover. There it
Oh
is.
man,
Right
let's go.
no,
I wouldn't say no to that.
I would. But if they do physical, then I'll buy it. Then yes.
I think they are going to announce Super Mario Odyssey 2, or the next major 3D Mario game after all these ports come out. I think they're going to line it up next year with Breath of the Wild 2 for sure. I think that's my second prediction, and then my third prediction is, you know what? I think we're going to get a 2D Metroid this year on top of Metroid Prime Trilogy and Pikmin Deluxe and the Mario ports.
Did they just port the one from Switch?
What?
The Metroid game?
You mean the
Or, I mean,
3DS?
from 3DS, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Nobody bought it.
that's the
Nobody
one.
bought it there. Maybe they'll try again, you know?
Well, it was such a bad time for it to come out because a lot of people were
Dude,
gonna get the Switch.
anything that came out within a month of the Switch and after for 3DS was just, you're not buying it.
Yeah.
I mean, what did I buy, Ed, shortly after? Shadows of Valencia came out that May. That was Nintendo's big May game that they were pushing. And I played it for 2 hours, and I'm like, I played Switch. I can't handle this 3DS screen anymore. So
Yes. So
That's fair.
before we go and get into
well, hold on.
questions.
Do we have time for questions? Because we've been going for almost 2 hours.
Only 2 hours?
We don't need this to be like a 4-hour show. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, 2 shows, 2 hours
No,
apiece. No, just kidding.
Corey, pick 2 questions for us.
Okay, we'll do 2 questions because we have 6. So, all right, our first question. Let's see. We will. Sorry, Deshaun. We answer your questions all the time. We're gonna give someone else a shot. Hedrix Pasternak writes in. He says, "Hello, gents. What is your biggest disappointment in gaming this year so far? What game did you think you were going to love and were totally disappointed in it?"
Arms.
Arms 2.
Doom. The Doom.
Doom Eternal.
The Doom. Yeah, Doom Eternal. Like I
Why were you disappointed?
I don't hate it, but it just really did not hook me like the first one did, like Doom 2016 or whatever.
Well, I think the big thing with Doom this year also was like Doom 2016 people had zero expectations from that because it had that whole, they didn't send review copies out early, so nobody really reviewed the game on time, and B, it was a Doom game, and 2016, right? Like nobody cared about
Sure.
Doom in 2016, and I think a lot of people were just pleasantly surprised that it turned out as well as it did, and then it ended up being a fun game. And I think people set their expectations too high for Doom Eternal, and I think from what I gather, it was like pretty much more Doom with some weird platforming elements and some new weapons and stuff, which was cool. But I just feel like people set their expectations too high for Doom Eternal, and people were disappointed. Not that it's a bad game, but you know.
Yeah, no. For me, it was just I'm not really super big fan of the kind of the mechanic stuff that they were doing in this one. Like, I mean, it works fine. It's not so much that. I think it
didn't keep you hooked like the first game does.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like enjoy some parts of the like just having to like do this in order to replenish that. Like, I do like that in some ways, but I think, yeah, it might even just be more so the platforming stuff sometimes that
it's a pain in the butt.
I really was not enjoying. Yeah.
And you gotta do to like crawl up stuff, and it's just not obvious. I mean, not that I want stuff to be obvious, but it's like I just want to get to action again. I don't want to figure out, I have to crawl up this.
Yeah.
What do I jump to next?
Yeah. I think it really was more so that mixed with the you know the other things, but I think the like the mechanics and stuff of the like certain kills getting you replenishing certain things are fine on their own. But yeah, it's I think it's just a little bit of a mix, but mostly like I do not like the platforming in that game.
Yeah.
At all.
I totally agree with you.
That's fair.
For me, even though like nothing this generation or nothing this year that came out has disappointed me, but something in my backlog like Control that was very disappointing because it was frustrating, and all the technical problems that it had, some of the camera issues, even some of the lighting, like when the room is too red and they got the enemies with the red shields and stuff, sometimes it's hard to see when you're trying to like shoot them in 4K. Like you got a really nice screen, and it's just like if I die, I have to wait 25 seconds plus to redo all of this over. Like the checkpoints were bad and everything. So I felt like it's not a game of the year. It's not a bad game for Remedy. But I kind of feel like Quantum Break is better than this.
I'm in there. I'm in that boat too. Or like Jesse and I were talking about this yesterday, where like I was extremely frustrated with how difficult that game was at the very beginning, right? But as I started leveling up and getting abilities and stuff, I'm having an easier time. But like you said, the checkpointing is really odd, and like just the way the enemies spawn. Like sometimes I'll enter a room and I will be almost up against the wall behind cover just trying to play an attack, and like a random enemy will spawn behind me. And I know Remedy said that they have this new kind of procedural enemy spawning, right, which will help change up the landscape for players to experience. But like I get that, but like at least make it more focused, like, you know what I mean? Like you could make it more focused while still having it be procedural.
Right.
So,
yeah, be a certain point beyond where you've walked into the room. Anywhere in that area can randomly spawn things, but if you're gonna have them like on both sides of you, like right by you and things like that, that just doesn't make sense.
It makes it harder to run around because the areas are open for you to run around and shoot. So the action is continuous. You really can't do hide and seek. You got to keep moving. But I'm like, when it gets too many, because when you're trying to fight the air enemies and they're throwing stuff at you, while you got that dragon bird coming around, and then you got the little exploding monsters and stuff. Like when all of that is coming at you and you're trying to use your shield and stuff, and that takes away some of your energy, it gets frustrating.
Yeah, but I definitely, out of the three of us, I definitely enjoyed that game way more. But I do agree definitely the save points or the spawn points are the worst part of that game.
Oh, that
by
was so
far.
frustrating.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, love the story. The story is good.
Yeah.
The art direction, beautiful. I love Jessie. I love the character who voiced her because she was the one lady in Quantum Break. She did a fantastic job. I love the creepiness of it, the sci-fi feeling game. All of that is good. It's just the technical problems.
Yeah, I love the premise, and I love like I said, I love just like walking in a room and chucking walls at people. Like I think that's such a cool thing, and but yeah, some of the difficulty stuff has been really just, I don't know.
Brody, what is yours?
For me, it was Phantasy Star Online 2. I've been kind of, in the last couple years, I've gotten into MMOs quite a bit, and so I'd always heard a lot about this, but I actually never even looked into it. I mean, other than when Xbox showed it off, I was kind of whatever. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's a game that's never going to come to the West, so I'm not even going to concern myself with it. And then they announced it and showed it off and everything, and I kind of got excited. I didn't know really what to expect, but once they started the beta and everything, I went and played it, and that menu system in that game is the most frustrating menu system I've ever dealt with in a game. It is beyond complicated and convoluted, and a absolute just that sucked the absolute fun out of that game. Other than that, it's a lot of fun to play, but the menu system and understanding all of the different things they have going on there is insane. Absolutely insane. So yeah, I played it during the original closed beta and have not touched it since. But it's not really. I don't necessarily know if I blame them. I guess it was more. I mean, the system sucks, right? Or the menus do. But I guess I should have done a little bit more research on it before I got excited about it, and should have known that it was going to be like that. But
yeah,
I thought you were going to say Black Desert.
Nah, that didn't come out this year.
Oh my gosh, it's been that long.
Yeah, that was last fall.
Holy, that's a long pain.
On the console.
Was Black Desert like that fast action like MMO kind of thing that they showed at E3? I think last year.
I think they showed it at 2018, but it came out last year.
Yeah, it's been out on PC for a while, but it finally came to console last year. Yeah,
it's bad. It's not that good.
It runs terribly on my Xbox, but I have a day one, so that doesn't help. But and on top of that, they did some real shady stuff with how they kind of marketed it, and basically made it sound like you had to buy it for like $30, and then and that was like the deluxe edition, but they never had a standard edition until the actual release date, and then all of a sudden a standard edition for like $10 popped up. And then it came.
Wow!
Sounds like
it
another.
was like on sale all the time.
Yeah, it was really, really shady how they went about around a lot of that. So
because I really liked the trailer, I was just like, "What's this action-packed game?" I'm like, "This is Devil May Cry. This is up my alley." And
it looks really cool. Yeah, it looks really, really gorgeous, and like the character creation's probably the most robust character creation I've ever seen. But other than that, like it runs pretty bad on the Xbox. I think the Xbox Series X does a little bit better, but I think it still gets a little doggy in there as well.
Okay.
Well, Jeff, what is your?
So I'm kind of in line with Doom Eternal a bit on that, but I actually. So I know it came out in November 2019, but Pokemon Sword and Shield has kind of been like a little disappointing to me, like later on. So I've been playing a lot of like Ni no Kuni lately on the Switch. And I just feel like that game is just so much better in its battle, and I feel like battle mechanics and like Sword and Shield. I did enjoy it, I guess, in 2019 when it came out, but it's just like I think they like held back a little bit too much. I get it because obviously they don't want to piss off the Pokemon fans. That's not a great crowd to mess with, as we found out up to the release of it. But I feel like they definitely held themselves back a lot with the game, and just it seems like it could do so much more, and they just kind of left it the way it was.
Okay, I can understand. Yeah, I still need to be. I have the collection for Sword and Shield because I'm playing Sword. I need to go back and finish it. It's one of those games. It kind of, Corey could agree with me. It's kind of like Animal Crossing for us. That is hot for a minute, but if we don't stay consistent with it, it's like, I'll return to it whenever, and you just don't feel like returning to it because you got other games on your console or other consoles. And kind of with Pokemon, it was a hot thing on social media, and then it kind of died out. Some people are still doing it, but it kind of died out, and people moved on from it.
Yeah, with Doom Eternal, like all the platforming is brutal.
Yeah,
that whole service stuff with the Sword and Shield that they tried doing, and then like just how convoluted it is to like transfer Pokemon and all that stuff. Like there's a lot of things about that game that just kind of just don't sound fun about, like some of the back stuff. But I don't know a whole lot about the gameplay, but I've, haven't really heard bad things about the gameplay per se, but just
I don't think
those things
blue,
around
essentially.
Sometimes I feel like the Pokemon Company wishes they were still like a small indie style, like just leave us alone.
Like
let's make simple RPGs, like but now they have like Pokemon and all these other things that they're working on. It's just kind of like, well, you're a victim of your own success, I guess. So
Yeah. The one thing about Doom Eternal, I think because of the popularity of Animal Crossing, people bought Doom Eternal and just put it as their backlog. They may have installed and gave it a chance.
They did come out on the same day, right?
Yeah. And Animal Crossing just demolished it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till it comes to Game Pass because Bethesda games always come to Game Pass 6 months later.
And I wonder how Doom Eternal is going to do on Switch. Like,
I bet it does. I bet it does significantly worse than Doom did because like Doom did really well, right? The original Doom, 2016, but. I think people had that, oh my gosh, a real third-party game is coming to Switch, let's play it, type thing. And because I played through Doom and Wolfenstein 2 on Switch, and they're good versions of those games, but I think people who really want to play those games and experience them the way that they're meant to be experienced, they'll be playing it on PC or Xbox One X or
and some people who do buy it, it's more for support and having it as a collector's item.
Yeah, so
for the physical ones, I should say. But Corey, what is yours?
Well, speaking of Animal Crossing, dude, I got sucked into the hype train of Animal Crossing, and it did not pan out the way I wanted it to.
Did you play the other ones?
No, this was my first one.
Okay, all right.
So, and I wasn't even gonna get it, and then
You're like, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, kind of. And I got sucked in, and I got Twitter peer pressured into buying it. So I got it, and I have put probably 10 or 12 hours into that game, and I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. I just don't have the time to put into it that I think needs to be put into it. And, not really playing the other ones. I'm still kind of like stuck trying to figure out what I'm doing with it, and it's just not. It's just not a game for me. Those types of games, I wanted it to be fun, and like I understand what it's doing, and I think that the people that are into those games, this is a very good one of those. Like the Stardew Valley crowd, the Harvest Moon crowd, whatever. But this game is just not for me, and I'm very disappointed. So,
all right. Well, what is our last question?
All right. So our last question of the day, we'll make it a short one. All right, Samantha Cross writes in. She says, Swedish retailer lists Metroid Prime Trilogy for June. Thoughts? I have thoughts. As much as I want it to be true, and as much as I told Ed, I think it's happening. I don't know if I really think it's happening. I just want it to. Because, like, it's almost June, right? It's as of this recording, it's May 25th. You really think Nintendo's going to give a 3-week lead time to one of their premier franchises?
Right.
I don't think so. Although, I know we got Paper Mario, but that's still like it's 8-week marketing cycle for that game.
And that's on the Last of Us. No, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. So you really want to put Metroid Prime Trilogy up against The Last of Us or, something else?
It's a big fan base, though, dude. That's a pretty loyal fan base.
Yeah, and I get that they're
when
servicing.
When were you thinking of it?
And neglected.
When was it?
June 19th is what it's listed for. But I understand that they're servicing
August.
different audiences, right? And this is a port, as The Last of Us is a brand new thing, but
Sure.
I don't know. I just think 3 weeks is too short of a runtime, even if it is a port, and even if they do digital first only or whatever. Like, I don't know. I as much as I want it to, like, I think because the rumors have that thing's been done since 2018, and they're just waiting to release it, right? Like that's
sounds like a pretty Nintendo thing.
That's been the rumor, right? It was rumored to be announced at the 2018 Game Awards. So I mean.
I throw a big bag of salt on the rumor.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think it's coming. I just don't know if June is the correct date.
I think with Nintendo not being able to market it well to get it out there, that's way too soon. Like Nintendo's not known for we're just gonna announce a game and then it'll be out. They can have shadow drops, but that's like in the Nintendo Direct. They won't be like, oh, this is a game that's being announced and it's out in 3 weeks.
I mean, I could see
Nintendo want to build that up.
I could see them doing like it's out now or it's out in a week with something like Box Boy or the next free Kirby game or whatever, right? But nothing that's not something on the level of what fans expect from Metroid, right? Like that's just doing. And people are already mad at Nintendo for how not enough Metroid there is, right?
I say they do it. I say they just release the damn thing and it's just done because that just seems like a Nintendo thing. Like, here you go.
I hope it's never even announced. I hope it just shows up in the eShop.
You know what I think they're going to release that day?
New Arrival?
Well, that's what I think.
Metroid
I think
Prime Federation Force. HD.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I do think though that if they did talk about it, it would be the whole available now, like basically, like they would just drop it on people and everyone would go crazy.
I think it'll be a weird shadow drop without the Nintendo Direct. Like,
well, June of next year will be 35 years exactly since the first Metroid came out.
Yeah, and next year is also the Zelda 35th anniversary. So if you are planning on doing those two franchises, next year seems like the way to do it. You start because January is
release 3 of them on the 34th year.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, like I think what you could do, right, is for Metroid's 35th anniversary, January is a big port month for Nintendo, right? Every January we get a great port. That seems like as good a time as any. Lead off the year with a Metroid port, and then in March you give us Wind Waker HD, and then in May or June you give us a 2D Metroid, and then that summer you give us Twilight Princess HD, and then
because with the like Corey said, like with the talent behind Metroid Prime 4 now, you really want to build that up.
Yeah, you see that talent, like all the people they're hiring for that visual effects team, like
it literally now no one can guess what it is. Metroid Prime 4 now, what I think whatever their old assets was is thrown in the trash, and they're building that game completely from the ground up. Because it's crazy on all the people that they have.
Watch Master Chief be in the game.
It'll be awesome.
I'm down for that.
It's gonna feel like a Mech Warriors game.
Oh wow!
Hey man, if you can get
they'll come out with their own battle.
So you guys think that they won't disappoint Metroid fans?
Nope.
No, I don't think they will.
Everyone's disappointed all the time on the internet, so no. They will. They will literally disappoint everyone.
If it comes out with a nice amiibo in a nice box set, people will be happy.
Hey, look, if the Metroid Prime Trilogy comes out for Switch and I can control the camera with the right stick and I can shoot stuff with the right trigger, I'll be fine.
Yep. Can we get the same with Resident Evil 4, please? Thank you.
No.
No what?
Can we get Resident Evil 4 with actual good controls?
No pun intended, but Resident Evil can just go die somewhere and just be done.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it.
Yeah, never been a fan.
Yeah. So I mean, like the remakes are they look pretty good. But like 4, like I just don't understand. I don't understand. But I also don't understand the love of Final Fantasy VII or some of these other classic games either. So, I don't know. I'm a terrible gamer. Sorry, internet.
Well,
speaking
Jeff,
of disappointing the internet,
Jeff, what are your thoughts?
I think they release it. I mean, it sounds like an absolute Nintendo thing to do. I mean, it could be the 50th anniversary next week, and they release it the week before. I mean, I don't see them sticking to any calendar.
I mean, look what they remember Mario's 25th anniversary, and all they did was stick Super Mario All Stars on a disc and put it in a new box. Remember?
Yes.
That's literally all they did.
Isn't there a significant anniversary for Mario right now? And they've made it.
It's the 35th anniversary this year. Yeah.
They made a jean jacket with Levi's, and we got a Lego set.
Cool. It's more than they did for Zelda.
Right.
They could at least.
I'm trying to say, like, I don't think
they're very sentimental.
Yeah, I think that they don't have to be sentimental because they just release a damn thing and it just prints money. I mean, they don't have to wait another year. I think they'll release it like the 3-pack and they'll just drop that day because I think that's the right thing to do, honestly, with the fact that you've pissed off the Metroid fans with the fact that it's taken so long, and then maybe they give it. If
there's any reason that they need to give a heads up, I mean, I don't know. The pre-orders.
I think it's more for retailers and stuff than.
I probably buy it, but with retailers right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. I guess that makes sense.
Heads up.
Like eShop version dropping on June 19th. Yes, I can understand. And then when stores and life get back to normalcy in a way, then be like, okay, now we got the physical version with like a collector's edition, edition. You get the trilogy and what was the Metroid one on 3DS that you made?
Samus Returns.
No, I mean
Federation Force.
Federation Force.
I hope they add that multiplayer in there.
Yeah.
You'll get something like that.
Am I the only person that like legitimately kind of enjoyed Federation Force?
Like
it's such a lame name.
It did probably put Nintendo Switch Pro Metroid controller out.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think we're gonna see a bunch of like big
goodies and stuff.
I don't think it's going to be separate releases either.
Speaking of Pro
I think
controllers,
they'll launch them at the same time.
Like supply chain stuff, dude, is all messed up. You have no idea what you can commit to. I think they're just going to go the route of like, let's just release the crap on the eShop. Like me and Brody talked on the last episode. What was it, Brody? That Animal Crossing sold more digital copies than physical copies. It was the first time ever, right, for Nintendo like launch title to do that. Yeah. So I think that they, and they make a lot more money doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially because, like, I mean, if it was Metroid Prime 4, I think it would be a little bit different. But considering it's just a port of, like, I mean, like a remaster of the old games, right? And like Jesse, you and I were talking about Pikmin 3, like, just drop these digitally, and then, like Ed said, when things get back to normal, then collectors can go get their physical copies and make a event out of, okay, we're releasing these games physically now, right? You could have a whole like a second marketing campaign, I don't know. I just think
I agree, but at the same time I disagree because I think that's going to piss some people off. These collectors that
I would agree with you if we weren't going through this COVID crap.
You were correct, but I don't know. It might just be the vocal minority as well, too, right? Being really loud.
Fans.
But I don't foresee Nintendo doing two separate launches for one of their head IPs. I just don't see that. Even with this going on, I don't see it happening. I actually don't see them releasing this until after this whole pandemic's over. I think they're just gonna wait because I think if they do
or the new Metroid.
I mean, what's making them wait a little bit longer at this point, right? I mean, you've already supposedly had the game done for a year.
That's fair enough.
And wait another one.
Right, and plus we don't know Nintendo's fall. We don't know Nintendo's fall and winter release for the rest of the year. Like we were assuming some random game for I would say like the 51 to 52 game thing that's coming out for Switch. I think that's probably June's game for Nintendo.
It is.
With Paper Mario being July. We was assuming that if it did happen, Pikmin 3 would be right for August to release. And then down the line,
September and October would be the Mario 35th anniversary ports, right? With I don't know, something in November, I guess. You have to have something in November, right? Like, I think that's...
Yeah, you'll get completely washed out if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What would be crazy, too, is if I think they'll, as a business, if I was them, I would just start releasing a ton of crap on the eShop and just say, hey, it's only digital because of everything going on. I think people would be okay with that. And plus, like, video game, like, land is going to get pretty messed up.
I think you're going to see a lot more remasters and ports in the next few years because the work that you need to do, like mocap and voice acting and studio work, is already done, right? Like it's already done. So I think like the big thing for EA right now, right, is the Mass Effect trilogy remaster. The legwork for that's already done. The voice work's already done. The mocap's already done.
Yeah.
All you got to do
from an economic standpoint, though, like if people stay out of work and the economy still gets browbeat like this, disposable income goes away quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder to quantify making new stuff or quantify holding on to things when you can be like, like example, if they held on to this trilogy, they actually held on to it for 2 years, which they probably could have. That's a very Nintendo thing. Mm-hmm. Then, if they have a backlog of stuff, like I would just constantly release stuff just to try to get that revenue in case the economy goes kaput, and video games are typically like one of the first things someone's like, nah, I can't, I'm not going to buy that.
And definitely with Nintendo, definitely with like Japan and Europe and just how people are opening stuff in the States. This summer, right now, digital is probably the best.
Oh, yeah.
Until everything gets back to normal, like I said, normal, digital is the best. So if they want to shadow drop Metroid, at least give it some promotion. In a sense.
Like the Mario 35 stuff, you gotta give a physical version of that.
Yes,
because people are gonna be up in arms about that.
Yes.
But like this Metroid stuff, just drop the damn thing.
Yeah.
The weird thing about Metroid though is that it's not. So I get why it's beloved to all of us because we're all gamers. But a lot of people don't even know what Metroid is. It's one of
Nintendo's worst selling franchises.
Yeah, it's like a weird B tier. So the majority of people that want this are the collectors. They want a physical copy to put in their Samus shrine over in the corner.
That bit of cartridge.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's an American game where it's an American style game where Europe and Japan, they do special editions to get people to buy them. Where America, we get jealous that Europe and Japan might get a special one.
I mean, that's why they made Metroid Prime, look like a first-person shooter to appeal to a broader audience, right? Like that's why they did it.
I think if they launch this digitally, it's not going to do well. This is not going to start trending on Twitter. Chrissy Teigen's not going to start playing this and tweeting about it.
Why not?
It's just not going to happen.
Why not, dude?
Like that's why Animal Crossing sold the way it did. It's not going to happen with Metroid.
But I think people will be happy that it happened. Even if it doesn't sell well, sometimes there are games that come out that people are just like, I'm glad that this happened. And if we are a gaming community, whether we're fans of that series or not, it's good that it's got out, and that option will always be there for us.
I mean, I do have another solution to this too, which I know it won't happen because it's Nintendo.
Find a vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
comes. Nintendo had the answer all along.
To speak up. You could release the trilogy, right, as a digital purchase, and then when Metroid Prime 4 finally comes out, your collectors can buy a Metroid Prime Saga box set for $99.99, and that's how you get. I mean, that's how you get your physical copy of it, right? Like if you want a physical copy of Metroid Prime Trilogy, you have to buy the Metroid Prime 4 or Metroid Prime Saga set, which includes all 4 games, and they'll make 3 copies of it, and then people will go insane because it's going to sell for $6 billion on eBay or Amazon or whatever, and you can't get it. Similar to the
I'm
Revelation.
gonna die in a Target parking lot for that. Too. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, the Target parking lot.
Oh wow.
The Ocarina of Time.
I mean, I guess you could
disc
just
that
order
came
it.
with.
And then it
The,
just comes with
Yeah.
the box, and it's just like, hey, we'll just get it to you whenever.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that's gonna be it for Boss Rush Podcast. I want to thank you, Brody. I want to thank you, Jeff, from
Thanks, buddy.
Diggity Podcast. Go ahead and plug one more time where people can find you guys.
You can find us wherever Boss Rush is also found. So Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, any great place that great podcasts are at. You can
Anchor
find us there.
FM.
Yeah.
Oh, and Anchor. Yeah, and Anchor.fm, yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah, if you guys are also wanting to find them, their links will be in the description of the show. So
Look at this guy.
Oh,
Wow.
Got it covered.
Yeah.
I do. I
Jesse,
have them
where
saved
can
from the last time you guys were on. So
Jesse, where can we find you at?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Corey, where can we find you?
you can find me at I am Corey and HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Corey and HD on Mixer and Twitch.
Brody, where can we find you?
You can find me on Xbox at Luscious Brody. You can find me on PlayStation at Wolverine's Cousin. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brody Fultz. And find me through Diggity. It's there. It's all there. No,
Social media
everything's
sucks.
just my name. It's pretty simple.
What's your Switch code? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let me get my routing number real quick.
What's your social security number while we're
Oh,
at it?
wow.
Yeah.
Jeff, where can we find you? Don't feel bad, Brody.
You
I
can
used to plug
find
him.
me. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's Jeff James here, and you can find me on Xbox. Maple Jeff is the gamer tag for that. And then, I've never done friend code. Maybe in one episode we'll do a friend code thing. That'd be hilarious. Someone has to rewind 4 times to make sure that's the right number.
We gotta say, when we do it, we have to say it really fast, though.
Yeah.
As
No,
fast
or-
as
or
we
you
possibly can.
You should share only 1 digit per episode, and so they've got to listen
Oh,
to every
no.
episode.
You've been watching for the last 24 episodes. You can have a full friend code.
A season. You guys can find me. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and you can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps. Do guys check out Arsenal X? Do check out Power Block, because we are on the road to 200, where we have a contest going, so you guys can have a chance to win a Nintendo Switch, two $50 eShop cards. Is that all, Corey? Was it?
There's a memory card in there too.
And a $250
Yeah, you're gonna need that.
card. Yes. So everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend whenever you are hearing this. We will see what happens through the summer for our Summer E 2020.
Wow.
Will our predictions come true? Will the wild stuff that we guess actually appear?
Will Arms
who
get a
knows?
sequel?
With Jeff
Will that
get
Kid Icarus Paperboy finally come out?
with Jeff did I promise you a Pro Controller for Switch? I think.
No, our bet is a T-shirt if Arms 2 is announced. That's our new thing.
Okay, so I would get a Diggity T-shirt
If
I'm
Arms
right.
2 is announced, yeah, correct.
I mean, I
You
would
might
get a-
want to
I
put a
would get
time
a-
frame on that.
I would get a Diggity T-shirt anyway. The logo's cool.
And then you'll get one that says Ed was wrong, or I'll have a picture of Ed and it said I was wrong.
Yeah, I'll wear a shirt.
Yeah,
That face that says, I was wrong.
I was wrong.
I would take if I'm wrong, I would take a picture of it and show the world. And support everybody, support Diggity. Go listen to them. But like I said, everybody have a great week, have a great weekend whenever you see this. And as always, let's be better to one another. Definitely in this time, and let's all play video games. And with that, everybody, we will see you next time on Boss Rush Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.